Sorry, I'm late. I just had a massive rush this morning. I'm still actually sweating, look. I was late getting back from my class, and then my PC wouldn't boot up. So I haven't had a look at the news, I haven't looked at anything, and the market opens in 6 minutes. So we'll rush through it this morning. How is everybody? Morning, Ian, Amy, Kennedy, Tom, Mumo, Danny, Daniel, Leishy's live, Gregors, Bradley, Michael, how are we doing? RBA is making noises about raising the Australian interest rates on the 7th of November. We'll have a look at that in a minute. JPY on the move, yeah, it is big style on the move. Well, US dollar yen specifically, the one that we're interested in. Which terminal? So I just literally looked at this a second ago before I came on, but yeah, we've just had an intervention. Well, we've just had a move. So we'll see. Obviously, there's a Japanese intervention going to come because they're rallying it. So this is too small to be an intervention. This is a warning shot, but yeah, we will potentially get one shortly. So, morning, Virginia, Baggy, Peter, Marco, AZ, Wihim Post. How are we doing? Banked something this morning. This is going to be disjointed this morning. What did I bank this morning? I haven't got a clue. Aussie CAD banked this morning. That was a short from, what day are we? Tuesday. It's a short from Tuesday. Straight in, straight out. A-shaped recovery on the Aussie move, which I was not expecting. If they're talking about interest rate rises, which they should be after those CPI figures, I suspect we'll get a continuation rally. So I would imagine this is just a deeper than anticipated pullback on a long move. But we've got problems with oil at the moment, specifically related to the Aussie CAD. In the oil is having a funny 5 minutes as well. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Yesterday specifically, mainly because obviously they announced that they are going to do the ground invasion. Israel are going in, which should rally oil, should rally the Swiss franc, which it has done because I've gone into deeper drawdown. I can see on the Swissy. And obviously things like gold will start to rally. And obviously the US dollar, which is why the US dollar yen's got up. But so closed out that one this morning. Yesterday, I closed some stuff out as well. Did I close it yesterday? Pound odd. These were singles, I think, yesterday. Oh, yeah. So I can't even see it. It's in there. Look, pound odd was a straight in, straight out. Look, H1 RSI extension, straight out. Same day, which was nice. Euro odd closed out yesterday as well. Same trade, basically, on that one. These two, basically, I was worried about them going the wrong way. Because of the Aussie dollar CPI, I was expecting them to drop. So these two trades are basically the same thing. The euro odd and the pound odd will move pretty much the same. So because I had two exposures on them, I put break-even stops on them. Before I went out yesterday, I put trailing stops on them. So these got taken out on a trailing stop. I wish I hadn't, because obviously I'd have made twice as much money. But better to be safe than come back and be massively in drawdown. And the pound New Zealand as well, got out of that one yesterday. That was a multi-day two position trade, one there, and out. So that's what I closed out yesterday. I was out all day yesterday. Well, not all day yesterday, half the day yesterday. Lovely day. Got back yesterday about 3 o'clock or something. And yeah, stock index EA didn't disappoint. So had a slight loss on the DAX yesterday morning. Of $500. It didn't go particularly well yesterday morning. We got hedged because I was going out basically as we pushed up basically. So that's a pre-market high. We pushed down. The open rejected and then started to push back down again. So I closed out the long, and luckily before I went out, we pushed down far enough for me to close out the first half of the short, that propulsion gap, which was actually a previous low. Here. So that level there, that's why I closed out that one there, because of that level there. It bounced, so I basically decided to just cut that with a $400 loss and run. If I hadn't it would have just gone into drawdown and I would have got out later in the afternoon, but I didn't because I wasn't here. And then the other indices, nice breaks yesterday. So good day yesterday. Quickly looking at this morning because it's about to open in 30 seconds. We got a gap up this morning. If we are kicking off in the Middle East, indices are dropping. So we've had lots of positive earnings coming out, like lots of positive earnings. This is not positive, is it? So it doesn't matter what good news we're getting from stocks, and we've had some really good earnings overnight from IBM and other people. Market is not interested in investing in the stock market, regardless of how well you're performing. So we'll watch where this goes. Missed the short. It's already gone. Limit order triggered. There we go. Got it in. So limit order triggered because obviously it had broken down too far. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily trust a gap fill when we've got things going on like we have in the Middle East at the moment. Market is going to be scared. It's going to want to put its money in safe havens like the Swiss, the yen, and the US dollar, and it's going to want to pull money out of stocks. So we'll see what happens. So we've broken short. 2R is basically beyond within that level there. So that little propulsion move that we had. So if we can flush down to 2R, that'd be lovely. And I'll just go and do something else. Why didn't I get it on over here? Oh, hang on. Wrong chart. There we are. Oh, I am short. Good. Oh, lovely slippage. Thanks. My God, I got hideous slippage on my other account. Bloody hell. So my other account, I've actually filled below the pre-market low down here. Never mind. Morning, Day Trader FX. David. Good guy. Richie. Why is the yen move so strong for a few minutes? Don't know. We'll have a look at that in a minute. It's probably an intervention move from the Japanese. Morning, Danny. Dion. Is the EA ran on the pre-15 or the pre-5? This EA, the stock index hedge EA, is dynamic. So it runs on the range that meets the criteria you set. So the criteria that the stock index hedge EA runs on is based on ADR. So I'm looking for a range between 10 to 20% of the average daily range. So what it will do is does a look back. So when we get to the open, and this is why it takes a little bit of time to execute, it goes, is that range within 10 to 20% of ADR? If yes, use it. If not, is that range within 10 to 20% of ADR? If yes, use it. If not, is that range? Is that range? Is that range? You can set how far it looks back. So mine is set to look back 30 minutes before the open. So today, it's the 10-minute opening range. Also, that is the 15, the 20. So whether you use the 10, 15, or 20, it's the same range. Yeah. So it's the 15-minute pre-market, pretty much. The 5-minute pre-market is ever so slightly lower. If you're using the 5-minute, you've hit target. Oh, you git. I'm not letting you have that. Look at that. Missed my TP by... I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but I'm getting ready to close it out if this starts to pull back. Just in case it just flips back. NASDAQ's coming down really hard. S&P, Dow, everything's selling off hard. There we go. Go on. Okay, TP1 hit. Done. And relax. Right, now I can calm. Chill. Suzuki playing pump and dump. Yeah. So trailing second half at 2R. Ooh, look at this. 3R push to the downside. I would imagine the US dollar is rallying. Let's have a quick look at what the US is doing. Swissy's rallying. Let's look at the pound US and the euro US. That'll give us a better indication. Not a lot of movement, actually. Okay, so this is just a dump in the stocks. So just looking at stock earnings overnight. We had last night Facebook, Quantum, and IBM. IBM was a really good hit. Facebook was a good hit, 23% up on revenue from ad earnings. So all bullish. Yeah. Pre-market today, we've got Bristol Myers. We had good earnings on these guys as well yesterday as well. The others, and Google and everything was all right. So we got MasterCard. We got Merck, which is the largest shipping company in the world. Some pharma in there. There's a bit of a mixed bag this morning. But the aftermarket are the big ones today. Intel and Amazon being the main two. So we'll get the impact of those on tomorrow morning's moves. But if you look at the indices, the other indices today, NASDAQ selling off hard, gap down NASDAQ as well, S&P selling off hard, gap down, everything selling off hard. But this is not because of stock earnings. Obviously, the earnings are all up. It's because of what's happening in Israel. So market does not want to be buying risky things like stocks when you've potentially got a war kicking off. You want it as safe havens like the Swiss franc. So, and the yen. So let's quickly go over now, because obviously that's done this morning. I'm trailing the second half, so I'll get what I get out the second half. Let's have a quick look at targets to the downside. Just moving my TP up. TP2, just moving it up below yesterday's low. It's not yesterday's low, sorry. That's where are we? Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. This is this week's low. So this is this week's low, which is there. So target moved up from there to there, basically, because there's no point in having it down there if we're going to get a double bottom bounce. Have it up there if we're going to get a double bottom bounce, because we want to be out with as much money as we can. So there we go. That's your DAX done. So let's quickly look at the news. We haven't even done news yet. This is really organized this morning, isn't it? It's like a well-oiled machine in here. What are your trading stops set at? Those are just 2R. Trading 2R at 2R. So I'm trading stops is an impossible thing to work out. I have done so much testing on trailing stops over the years, decades, on all systems I've ever used. I've used every type of trailing stop you can think of. I've used risk-reward based ADR, ATR. I've used parabolic SAR. I've used moving averages. I've used everything to trail stops. None of it is any better than any of it. Basically, if you put an order in the market that says, get me out when you get there, it will get you out when it gets there. Every single trade you take, there won't be one thing that works. Right? So if the parabolic SAR was beautiful on that trend, the next trend, the parabolic SAR would get you out on a pullback before it goes 17R in your favor. If you'd have used an ATR based on the last 20 candles, it would have let you in that trade and you got a 17R. But if you used a 10 ATR, it stopped you out. There is no right or wrong. Trail it. The whole idea of a trailer is if you get a big, strong move, you're just going to lock a bit more in. How much you lock in isn't down to you. It's down to when the market decides to do that pullback. So I am at the moment using a 2R. So basically, as you can see, we've pushed down to there. My stop is there, which is roughly 2 of these lines. If I was using a 1R, I would be stopped out now. Right, so there's nothing wrong with being stopped out now, because what you've just got is a 2R on the first position and a 2R on the second position. Good for you. At the moment, I've got a 2R on the first position and I'm getting less than 1R on the second position. If it does that, I'm going to get more than you got. And that's today. Yesterday would have been a totally different situation. There isn't a right or wrong. Just use whatever you fancy. If you back test, it doesn't matter. If you run a back test of 1,000 different variations, so do a system parameter permutation test on trailing stops, they will all give you a profit. Some of the profit will be there, some of the profit will be there, but they'll all be profitable. And you will have no idea which one to use. It doesn't matter. Just use one. I, as you know, get out when I think this is looking dicey. So if this is sitting here at like this, right? Let's say, for example, we've got that wick there that's just gone in. This puts in a little wick there and it's an inside bar. If the next candle is an inside bar of that inside bar, and then the candle after that is a big wick down and a hammer, I'm going to get out because the sellers for 20 minutes haven't been able to make any progress. So this thing's going back up. So I'm not going to let it hit my trailing stop. I'm just going to take it off. The trailing stop is there to protect it and lock in as much profit as I can if we get one of those screaming days that just doesn't hit my target and then pulls back. That's all its purpose is. You need to watch price action and get out when you want to get out, because there's nothing that you can do to get the right exit. Somebody was saying actually in Telegram, I've got 35 messages in Telegram. I haven't looked at Telegram yet today, but somebody was saying in there, which I spotted last night, I think it was, about the NASDAQ yesterday, and they said, oh my God, if I'd have held on to the NASDAQ yesterday, what an amazing trade that would have been. Your job is not to get in here and get out here. Your job is to take a portion of that move. You are never going to get in at the top, and you are never going to get out at the bottom. 1 out of 100 trades, and I've done it in here. I've said it in here, and every time I do it in here, I go, look at that, guys, look at that. Did you see my exit on that? Because it never happens. Never happens. Doesn't happen. So your job, when you're in a trend, so let's say a trend goes like that and it lasts for 3 months. Your job is not to get in there and get out there. Time that exit spot on. Your job is to take part of that trend and put it in your bank. Yeah. Yesterday, your job was to take a bit of that NASDAQ move out. Whether you took that bit there or that bit there or that bit there, well done. Yeah. If you tried to take that bit and your target was down there and this thing gapped up today, unlucky. You just take a bit of it. Yeah. If something's going to move, your job isn't to take the move. Your job is to take a portion of it. Third of it. If you can get a third of a move, you've done a bloody good job. So trailing stops are going to help you do that. But you're never going to get the top and the bottom. That's part of the boot camp. Part of the boot camp talks about why people fail in trading. Those 10 or 12 or 15 reasons people fail in trading is because one of them is you're trying to pick the top and the bottom. You can't, because the banks don't even know what the top and the bottom is. So how are you going to know? It's completely random. You're trying to pick the top and the bottom of a random thing. It's like somebody getting 100 cups and telling you to turn around, close your eyes and put in a P under one of them. The chances of you picking that 100 cup, that 1p in that cup, is so infinitesimally small. And it's pretty much the same as you picking the bottom of this move today. Not going to happen. So stop trying. Just grab a bit. You only need a bit. You need enough to pay the mortgage. Right. After all that. So news today, we've got basically yesterday, let's cover yesterday because I wasn't here yesterday. We had the rates come out on Aussie, which were positive. So the CPI figures were all positive yesterday. 1.2 on a forecast of 1 on the trimmed quarterly. Normal quarterly 1.1 forecast, we got a 1.2, and the year on year 5.6. So quite rightly so, we got that spike on the Aussie and New Zealand. However, it's very, very quickly undone itself. So the market had been rallying for a few days into this figure. So they obviously have priced in that move already, and now they've unpriced it. So the key question here is now, where are we going next with the Aussie? So the Aussie is in trouble. The inflation figure obviously is now at 0.6. It was negative 0.1. And as I've been saying all along, this is what happens to all of them. As it comes down hard, it then bounces back up again. So you get this period where inflation starts to go up and you're like, holy crap, we can't put this up anymore. If it goes up for a couple of months in a row, then you're in trouble. So this is just 1 quarter we've had it go up. So if the next quarter's Aussie goes up, that will be going up as well. So quite rightly so, there was talk about potentially raising interest rates. They've got loads of room as well. They're only on a 4.1 and their unemployment isn't bad. So they've got the room to do it. The New Zealanders haven't. They're on 5.5 and their unemployment is going up. Too late. They can't really do much with this. This is also slowing down at a faster rate. You know, it's all pretty much the same in that area. They all move the same. So so that's what we got yesterday on the Aussie. We had Bullock talking last night about potentially increasing interest rates. So there is potential for more bullish movement on the Aussie and New Zealand in a normal world if nothing kicks off in Israel, which it looks like it might do. So you can't really factor in too much with interest rates when there's something potentially big kicking off in the Middle East. We had the Canadian rates come out as expected. So if we look at the CAD, basically yesterday, look at the US dollar CAD. Actually, let's look at the pound CAD yesterday. So we had a bit of a whippy move, but if you look at the size of that move, it was 87 pips. ADR is 97. So as it was an as expected result, the market had already factored in that they weren't going to increase their interest rates. They delivered us exactly what the market thought. So the market just went, oh, right. And that's where we are. So there's no forward guidance really given by the Bank of Canada yesterday that is bullish or bearish. So that's pretty much an as expected and a normal. Where are we? Be back here. There we go. But what they did say yesterday was that they're expecting it all to drop. The speed of inflation coming down, they're expecting that to slow. So they're putting another 6 months on the time that it's going to take to get down to 2%. So basically a slowdown in the economy, which means they will probably hold interest rates where they are to keep everything nice and stable. Exactly what the US is saying. Probably end of next year, they might think about dropping the interest rates. So there's nothing really bullish or bearish came out of the Canadian yesterday. Powell spoke yesterday, didn't really say anything either. So that was yesterday's news. Today we've got the refinancing rate for the pound, for the euro. Sorry. Again, as expected, Lagarde has been known to drop some bombs. As you can see, she did last time. We were expecting a 4.25. She gave us a 4.5. We're expecting a 4.5. Don't know. But when she gave us that last time, we were expecting a big push. We actually got a big drop. So at the minute, we don't know what's going to happen today. It could be quite an interesting one today. So that's 115. And then 130, we've got the GDP figure for the US, and the unemployment claims, which may rally the US a little bit more. But the main thing today is the 145 press conference from Lagarde. So when we get that rate, we'll be going, oh, well, whatever. And then she will tell us what to do next. So she will give us the forward guidance as to whether we're going bullish or bearish over the next quarter. So, sorry, just watching the DAX. Just put a nice bullish move in there. I'm just going to pull this down just ever so slightly, just above that candle. So basically, if this candle high here, which is after the propulsion move, acts as a resistance, then obviously great. If we're going to push up into there, I just want to get out, really. Put it in the bank. It's nice, easy, such an easy, clean break. On days like this, you just want to go, yeah, whatever, take it. Be done. So that's the big news today. Then we've got Waller speaking later, and that's about it. So there's a lot of news coming out again this afternoon. The euro is at the moment not doing particularly well. If we look at the euro across the board. So euro odd sideways. Let's look on the 4 hours. Easier to see. So you can see obviously we're in a slight downtrend there. We're in a slight downtrend there. We're in a massive downtrend against the Swissy. The only thing it's beaten at the moment is the pound. Pound is weaker than the euro. Didn't think I was going to be saying that for a while. The yen you can kind of ignore because it's doing its own thing at the moment. New Zealand dollar sideways, rangy. US dollar down. Yeah, so the euro is at the moment fairly weak. So if we get a 4.5, I'd imagine the market is going to be like, nah, not interested. Last time we got a 4.5 and we were expecting a 4.25. It went, nah, we're not interested. So the market's really not interested in the euro at all at the moment. So I'm not expecting a sudden shift in momentum and suddenly the euro to become massively bullish. If she does put it up, though, this afternoon, and we get a 4.75, if you look at where we are with the fundamentals on the euro at the moment, we're sitting at 4.3. We've got a massive drop in CPI. This is partly because they are getting a bit more aggressive on interest rates. As you can see, they're the only people that did it last time. That will come down a lot quicker. And the faster that comes down, the faster they can remove that. Their unemployment is sky high at the moment. They really need to get on top of this. And the only way they're going to get that to come down is to remove that. The faster you push that up, the faster that comes down, the faster you can get that down. So it's in their interest at the moment to put interest rates up again, which is why we might get a little bit of a shock this afternoon. But what the market will make of it, we will see. So just be aware of that. There's going to be a lot of movement on the euro, potentially a lot of movement on the Swiss franc, and obviously with the US dollar as well. Other news overnight, obviously we'll look at the yen in a minute because that's a critical one. Oil inventories came out massively higher than expected. So, of course, what did it do? Rallied. Normally it would go down on that news, but it didn't. This is all Macklem stuff. Russia's defense, we are starting training on nuclear strike. What? Shoigu. Russia has tested its ability to launch a massive nuclear retaliatory strike. Goody, goody. So if Live Room's not on next week, you know why? They don't like us at the moment. So there's earnings in there. This is where we got the spike last night. Israel preparing for the ground invasion. So they are going in. So that's bullish oil, bullish gold, bullish Swiss, bullish US, bullish yen. All of that. Apart from that, overnight, we had this obviously news last night. The yen had a massive spike yesterday. So this move that we've just had this morning on the yen is caused by this massive move that we had here. So we had a big whippy move, and then we had a big strong push. We broke that 150 level, and we didn't just break it, we really slammed through it. The rest of the indices are all coming down again. NASDAQ, S&P, Dow, all really, really dropping. Bringing the DAX down as well. So DAX, still in the DAX. So if you look at this move yesterday, it was 52, which is roughly ADR, but it happened aggressively. So this is what this is when Israel announced they're going in for a ground invasion. So this is what the Japanese do not want, these fast, aggressive moves against them, because it makes it very difficult for them to work. And we've had expanded volatility. So look at the volatility that normally happens in a day. Yeah. And then look at what we've got today. Look at the size of these candlesticks during Asia. Big volatility coming in. And we've just had 175 ADR flush. This is what we had last time. Yeah, back here. Yeah. So this is basically them unloading foreign assets, bonds, etc. So they're liquidating assets overseas. Japanese hold virtually 90% of their wealth not in the yen, in other things. So what they can do is at any moment they can just liquidate all their assets overseas and buy the yen, which is what an intervention move is. It's them basically liquidating other currencies to make theirs stronger. So intervening with currency market movement against them to make their currency more attractive. So again, we're getting a lot of volatility coming in. Now, this is the sort of price action we see before a major intervention move comes in, and a major intervention move will be 600 to 800 ADR, which is what we had last October here. So that was the first intervention. These are 4-hour candlesticks. You can see there we had 8 hours of complete chaos where we moved. That one was 560 pips. ADR is 55. So that was basically 10 ADR. Yeah, look at ADR today and then go look at 225 ADR, which is what we very rarely ever get to, and then multiply that by 4. That's how big the move is. Then we had this one here, which again was 580, 10 ADR, roughly 8 to 10 ADR. Then we had this big move here. So what we've just had previously, which was about 4 ADR, was the precursor to what we are getting next, which will be the big one, and then there'll be the nail in the coffin. This is what always happens when they do an intervention. So we had the first intervention here. So we had that warning shot there, and the market reacted, and then they went, actually, nah, push you. And then we had the intervention move came in 3 weeks ago. Yeah, there. Yeah, and we had a minor there. We've just had another minor there. So this is small compared to what we've had in the past. Yeah, this was very small compared to the normal intervention that we have. So the question is, how far has it got to go, or how violently has it got to go against the Japanese for them to press the button? And when they press the button, let's draw it on. We'll be looking at somewhere around about 8. Let's call it 10. Let's put it easy. 10 ADR, which would be 550. Yeah. So that's 10 ADR from high to low. Yeah. So that is the potential move. Look at that. See what I mean about this being tiny in comparison to what we've had before. This is what potentially is on the cards. Yeah. Look at my TP. Yeah. Looks ridiculous having a TP all the way down there on a 4-hour chart, but we'll be there in 2 candles if they do it. So 151.93 here, this orange line is the last intervention. So that is the line in the sand we hit October last year where they pressed the button. That is still miles away from where we are at the moment. And I've got 4 positions on now. So I'm a little bit loaded on this, kind of hoping they don't wait until to get up there again, but we'll see. So just be aware of that if you've got any yens on, especially if you've got yen longs on and you're not using a stop loss. If you're longing this without a stop loss at the moment, just do a little bit of maths and work out what a 10 ADR move against you with your current lot size would be, and then think twice about being in the long. Forget short. Don't worry, I'll put a stop there. That won't get honored. That stop. Right, this move here happened in less than 1 minute. There was not enough liquidity to fill those orders. This is why this move happened. There were people with orders here. They all got filled down here. Look at my entry down there. This is not going to get, a stop loss isn't going to save you in an intervention move. You will be filled where your broker can get the execution. And if he can get the execution there, that's where you're going to get executed. So just, if you're in doubt, just get out of it. Forget it. It might fly, you know, it might go 3 ADR, 4 ADR up before it comes down. And if it does, whatever, up to you, your money, your choice. But I would not be pressing the long button on anything against the yen right now. So there's your yens. Other news overnight is just earnings related. Nothing much else. Here we got Kashida's stuff, because I haven't even had a chance to look at the news today. We will stick to the previous currency policy, closely watching FX moves. There we go. So there's the first warning sign. Excessive FX volatility is undesirable. There we go. So this is exactly the talk that we get every time an intervention move happens. This is what they say. And then they just go, screw you, and they press the button and everyone dies. Unless you're short. And then you just go, and off you go to the bank. Go and buy that new Porsche. Or Lamborghini. So yeah. May raise the yield curve. So what they're saying here is it's up to the Bank of Japan to decide whether to sell if it's ETF holdings. This is what I mean. So imagine as a central bank or government, yeah, you have 200 billion yen or dollars or whatever, and it's all sitting in the US dollar, the pound, and it's sitting in the stock market, it's sitting in gold, it's sitting in various stock ETF futures, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so your entire wealth is elsewhere. If you were to just go, I'm going to pull everything we've got out of those ETFs, yeah, and liquidate it back into yen. That's why these happen. The yen suddenly goes, it powers up ridiculously, and there is nothing you can do to stop it because they are liquidating all of that. The other thing you've got to bear in mind is everything held in that ETF is priced in dollars. Yeah. And this is why we watch the US dollar yen, because this is the one that gets the biggest move. Because to buy the yen, you have to sell the dollar. So they have all of their holdings overseas are in dollar bonds, liquid cash in dollar, US dollar currency. US stocks, all priced in US dollar. Everything they do is in US dollars. So whenever they sell massively on everything, it devalues the US dollar and values the yen, which is why this moves twice as fast as all of the other yen crosses, which is why we focus on this one, because this is the one that will get the biggest move. So there you go. So that's all that's news-wise until this afternoon, 1:15, unless they press the button. Typically, it's around about 10 o'clock, so give it an hour and a half. That's just what we've had last couple of times. I don't know whether there's no time, but it just seems to always be about 10 o'clock, doesn't it? For some reason. So US dollar yen, there we go. ADR. Ignore that. It's not an ADR. You don't want to be trading that. We'll see where this goes. If they keep rallying this thing, obviously they're going to get very cross. So watch this like a hawk today. CAD yen, big spike. That's an ADR hit. Obviously, there's no trades you could take off of it. Look at the size of the move on the other currencies, though. Look. Yeah, compared to that. And this is exactly what I'm saying. This is why this gets this and the others get something like that, because everything is priced in US dollar. It's the world's currency. Over 50% of all transactions are done in the US dollar, and the stock markets and everywhere else you invest. So when they buy the yen, they sell the US. That's why it gets the big moves. Canadian dollar is linked to the US, which is why it gets the second largest move. So it's all interlinked. But watch those today. This market at the minute is an utter mess. There's too much going on in the world at the moment to make any forecasts on anything, really. Oil, I have 4 on now. Basically, I'm playing this range. So I took another trade on this on Tuesday evening. Looking for basically this to be the pullback leg continuation up to $100 a barrel. If it all kicks off in the Middle East, as you can see here, yeah, that was the oil inventories, and that was the notification that we are potentially going for the ground invasion. 175 ADR, I think this was yesterday. Something like that. 334 on a 30. Oh, so it's only 125 ADR, 100 odd ADR, but it's enough, isn't it? So yeah, if that is announced, there's a nice very nice 3-bar reversal going in now. Look for a long if you want to get in. Pull, pause, push. There we go. So yeah, so there's a good chance that will rally hard. So as soon as we get that notification that ground troops are starting to mobilize, the oil price will go up, gold will go up, the Swiss franc will go up, everything will go up. DAX is coming down, which is nice. I'm stopped out on my DAX on the second half. 1.5% off that this morning, which is nice. Right. RSIs, there's a few to look at there. Let me just catch up on the chat. Any views on gold? No. Gold is a US dollar cross. Everything I've just said, draw your own conclusions from that. You should know which way gold is going, depending on what happens today. Yeah. There's a lot happening at the moment, and everything is going to have an impact on gold. There's no way you would be selling gold at the moment. The only thing you would ever do right now on gold is buy it. If the US dollar drops through the floor, gold is going through the roof. If the Israelis invade Palestine, gold is going through the roof. If there's any kind of safe haven run because the yen intervention happens, gold is going through the roof. If you hit the sell button on gold today, you're probably going to get burnt. However, if none of that happens today, I have no idea where it's going. It can go up and down. There's only 3 things that happen. It either goes sideways, up, or down. Price moves up, price moves down, price moves through time. Those are the 3 constants. One of those 2 things, up and down, is going to happen today. I don't know which one. Morning, Callum, Harold, Danny. Got a lovely move on the NAS yesterday. Yep, with the ORB. Cool. Yeah, it was really good breaks on the... I think it was, I can't remember which ones it was yesterday because I wasn't here. I can't remember what I made money on yesterday. Is that turned off? No, it's not. Oh, I didn't trade the NASDAQ yesterday. Yeah, no, I didn't trade the NAS yesterday because yesterday the moves were not right. So the pre-market range yesterday was too tight to trade. It was less than 10% of ADR, and the initial 5-minute opening range break was over 20% of ADR. So I didn't take the NASDAQ yesterday, or rather the EA didn't take the NASDAQ yesterday. It took the S&P, which was a clean break of the 5-minute. That was straight in down to target in 10 minutes, same as today, basically, straight in, down, and then second half got out. That would have got out on that trailer there, but I actually closed it manually because of this lot. Yeah. Lots and lots of wikis. And if you look at that level there, where it bounced, it's a 3-week low. And also the Dow was a nice clean break yesterday as well. Oh, no, sorry, it wasn't. The Dow was not the clean break yesterday. Right, now this is the Dow was a clean break yesterday. So if you look at this account here, right, got hedged literally to the pip. Got hedged, look, top of that candle, there's the order to the pip. So shorts collapsed straight down to 5R, hit that propulsion gap, bounced out propulsion, aggressive exit, done. Very nice. On my other account, that trade didn't get triggered. Offset exactly the same, but that candle high and the spread did not trigger me into the order, which is why I said on the Dow yesterday, it was a clean break. That account, it was a clean break. This account, it hedged. Same account, same broker. Yeah. One did, one didn't. That is how much backtesting is going to help you. If I can trade on the same broker with the same EA, with the same settings, and get 2 totally different results, how much faith do you think you should put in your backtesting? Just not how it works, is it? So yeah. But yeah, nice clean breaks yesterday on all US indices. Very, very good day yesterday again. Oil's rallying, just approaching highs of the day. Hello from Oz. Bullock Run. Yep. Morning XR@news. Morning Mark. Can your strategy be used for 1 to 10 and 1 to 20 leverage? I use a platform where this is the upper limit and the position is sold at 50% loss. Which depends which strategy you're talking about. Position trading, no, you can't position trade with 1 to 10 and 1 to 20% leverage. I would have to say that is ridiculously low. It's probably some crappy prop firm, is it? There isn't a broker out there that offers 1 to 10, 1 to 20 leverage. Every broker, minimum leverage on a broker is 1 to 30. Change brokers. Unless if it's a prop firm, change prop firm. The reason they're giving you 1 to 10 and 1 to 20 leverage is to stop you making money. You can't make money with 1 to 10 or 1 to 20. You can only get one trade on. You'll be at your margin, and they'll margin call you all the time. They're relying on basically you getting to a point where your stop loss is too far for a margin call and they can close your position out and blow your account. So, yeah, move. That's just a con. You can't trade with that. That's equivalent of walking into a bank with money and just saying, just give me a normal exchange rate, please. 1-to-1 leverage. It's just pointless. You could trade the opening range breakout EA, the opening range breakout strategy, or the stock index hedge strategy. You could trade those two with 1 to 10, 1 to 20, but you'd only get one trade on. And if you got hedged, when you close out the first part of the hedge, if it pushes ever so slightly against you, you'll get margin called. So I say you probably can't. Upshot, Razvan, change broker or prop firm. You shouldn't have a problem anywhere in the world getting 1 to 500 leverage if you look hard enough. Minimum 1 to 30. Minimum. Other than that, you're just not going to get anywhere. Right, RSIs. Let's have a quick look at these. Euro US dollar is extended on the on the hourly. So nice extension to the downside there. This is obviously US dollar strength. So the safe haven runs, whenever we have problems, go into gold, US dollar, yen, and the Swiss franc. I call it an F because C is CAD. That's the Swiss franc. So that's what, and oil, obviously. So that's what you'll be looking at when we get things going wrong. This one less so at the moment because of what's going on. However, if that does rally, it's not because of the safe haven run, it's because of Japanese intervention. So the main things you're going to find moving at the moment are going to be the Swiss franc and potentially the US dollar. So this obviously big strong move that we've got coming down at the moment is related to obviously what's going on everywhere in the world at the moment. We've got a weak euro as well. So the fact that they are selling the euro into the euro rate announcement could well be because they're going to reverse it back up again. So thanks for subscribing, whoever that was. It's not coming through on my chat for some reason when people subscribe, and I don't know why. Hey, Cole. Welcome aboard. Something wrong with my chat notifications, which I'll need to have a look at. So yeah, it's extended on the hourly. We've got lovely support coming up on this one at the moment. Obviously, you can see we're in a kind of very gradual incline, but we've got this lovely support area right now where we are. And then we've got 2 week ago low, and then we've got this previous monthly level, and then the 3 week ago low coming up. So I've got no positions on this one. It's not quite extended enough for me. I want it down below the 25 before I start getting into positions. But if it goes from here, there's loads of upside targets. You can see all the propulsion gaps to the upside. There's loads of upside targets on it. So if it doesn't go from here, which is this support somewhere, we'll be looking at ADR and then 150 ADR for potential bounces. If it gets all the way down to ADR roughly today, I'll be getting in along on this one and looking for a pushback on that move. So that's nicely extended, not quite far enough yet though. Pound US dollar is extended far enough. I've just taken first entry on that one this morning. Obviously, for those of you that are regulars in here, you know that I was in this for 3 months, sorry, on this squeeze, which I got out of on Friday, was it? I think it was Friday last week. Where are we? Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday I got out of this, didn't I? Monday. I've just longed it again. Glad for punishment. But anyway, very similar trade, Euro US dollar, Pound US dollar. The Pound US dollar just got extended enough for me to get a long entry on this one though. So same play, first entry, H1 RSI extension, M5 reversal alert. There you go, there's your reversal alert. First entry. So looking for some kind of push up on this. With all of these safe haven moves, you have to remember, if we're getting something being bought up because the world wants to put it somewhere safe for a bit, when they finish putting it somewhere safe for a bit, they pull it out again. So you tend to get 100% retracements on the moves. So where we've had these Swiss franc moves, you would quite often see when a safe haven run finishes, there's 100% retracement, a V-shaped recovery type move, depending how fast the in and out happens, obviously. But US dollar's powering up a little bit, obviously, off the back of what's going on. It will obviously unpower itself. The pound at the moment is weak, as we know, but Bailey's making a few little waves about potentially putting another 0.25 interest rate rise on. There's a 50-50 shot now of having our interest rates in the UK increased by another 0.25%, and that is coming Thursday, 2nd of November next week. Yeah, so we are at a 5 point. Where are we with the pound? 5.25. Yeah, we're at 5.25. There's a 50-50 shot next week of going up to a 5.5. We may well get Bailey this week and before this, kind of reiterating that. in which case we should get some bullish movement on the pound. Either way, we're going to freeze rates anyway, which is not bearish. So I don't see really any reason for the pound to weaken further. But why not S instead of F for the Swissy? Because the currency symbol is CHF. US dollar CHF. And we have US dollar CAD, which is UC. So we can't use UC, so we use F. I don't know why. That's just what I was taught. It's UF. If it was US, yeah. Can you imagine if I said I'm buying the US? What would you do? Buy the US dollar, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's why you don't have it as an S, I guess. I don't know. I didn't come up with it. I don't know who came up with it. It was just taught to me that the Swiss is using two symbols to designate a currency. It's an F, which confuses the hell out of everybody. When I say I've just sold UF, everyone, I always get asked on Telegram, what do you mean UF? If I say UC, I'm selling UC, I always get the question, is that the CAD or the Swiss? Which is why I use UF, because you know it's not the CAD, but then you don't know what the F is. I don't know. I didn't make it up. Don't shoot the messenger. So long on the US first position. New Zealand US, we've had a big, obviously, drop on this New Zealand dollar, which is why I'm in from that RSI extension. You can't see it down there, but it's huge. And we got embedded. But from that embedded RSI extension, we didn't actually recover. We just went sideways. And then we had that second drop in the New Zealand dollar. So this whole move here so far is a two-leg move with no profit take at the moment. So we've just had a push and accumulation, a push and accumulation. We're on another push. So typically the market will move in three legs before it does a profit take anyway. So this is starting to push back up now. The question is, can we get through that accumulation? So my average is just above ADR. So if we can get up into here, and basically I think on this one, I'm just going to move my targets now, actually. To there. So this basically just moving down a propulsion gap, which is basically the easiest thing to do. So if that's where I was targeting. Couldn't get in, couldn't get there from that. So as we push down, average in, targeting this propulsion gap. Now we've pushed down further, move the propulsion gaps down. It's going to hit a propulsion gap at some point. Don't know which it's going to be, but now that's my target because it's above my average. So yeah, looking for basically this low, which is this double bottom support, which turned into resistance. Yeah, so looking for them to retest that and turn it into a range. Or they might fly up, I don't know which. Massive pullback on the indices, V-shaped recovery this morning on the NASDAQ. So just a total undoing of the move. So yeah, so that's where I'm targeting now on that one. It's extended on the hourly this morning, was extended on the hourly this morning. It's just still extended below the 30 again, but this is really a big sell-off from the New Zealand. So for 2 weeks now, we've just been sitting down here on the RSI, no strength whatsoever. It took an absolute age to break that range. That's an entire month, more than a month, 6 weeks sideways there, more than that. More like 2 months, isn't it? Sideways. Really, really contracted, not going anywhere at all. And now they're just broken down. So looking for it to push back up. So when you get an area of balance, after that area of balance is validated, we get a price discovery move. There's one of two things that happens on price discovery. Either the market goes, yep, we're happy to transact down here, and we get into a trend. Or we go, can we transact down here? No, we can't. And we come back up into there, and then we price discovery the opposite end. So this is your balance. This is your price discovery. We're either going to fail or we're going to succeed. either way, I would expect them to come and retest the low of that range, which they have actually done twice, 3 times really. This might be the start of a move down, but if we're going to form a range down here, which we quite often do when a price discovery fails because we can't push any lower, that target is where I would still look to get out of the position. So that's New Zealand dollar, US dollar. US dollar CAD, as we know, is massively extended. 4 hour, we're back up above the 75 level again. We've broken out of that high. Oil has dropped, which has weakened the Canadian dollar. The US dollar is rallying on all of the crap that's going on at the moment. So yeah, looking for a pullback on this. It's extended on the hourly, not quite enough for me to get a short on. Haven't got into it yet. Didn't quite get there, but it's come down nicely this morning. So your 5-minute reversal alert has already kicked in this morning, just literally 10 minutes ago. So probably look for it to come somewhere down. Don't know. It all depends what happens this afternoon with the euro, really, because the euro is going to move the US as well. And obviously, what depends what happens with the yen. It depends what happens with Israel. There's just so many things at the moment that can move everything. It's just a total mess. World's in an absolute mess at the minute. So, you know, anything can move this at any time, any distance. But extended on the 4 hour. So it's a nice 4 hour short M15 reversal alert has just gone in. So sellers have just taken control this morning. So if they're going to remain in control, we'll get an M pattern retest and a drop. US dollar Swiss, that's extended on the hourly to the upside. Really nice balance we've just come into. So nice little accumulation where we slammed out of. We've just come up first retest of that. So that is either going to hold or fail. This is Swiss franc. So obviously at the moment we know we're getting these big strong runs into the Swissy as the market's pulling out of dangerous things like stocks and putting it into safe places like the Swiss. So I said, I think Monday or Tuesday, the question is not if, it's when it's going to undo the move, because when you put it all in there, you have to pull it all out again. So it's a case of it will come back, but the question is, have we got another leg of safe haven run in us? So if suddenly Israel go into Gaza, have they done all of that move, or have they got more that they will put in there? We don't know, and you won't find out until it happens. So it could be a case of if we are going to do the invasion and all of a sudden we're not going to want to keep our money in the stock market, we will probably go more likely into a range on this. Because with the US dollar Swiss, remember the safe havens, gold, US dollar, Swiss, yen, and oil. If you're pushing money into the US dollar and into the Swiss franc at the same time, a plus and a plus is a range. Yeah. So when you get a plus and a minus, you get a big, strong trend in one direction or the other. When both currencies push in the same direction at the same time, that strength causes nobody to take advantage, unless one of them has a lot more, and usually it's the Swissy, which is why this has come down. So there is a possibility of another leg down on this, but we'll see. I'm not in it anyway. It's extended to the upside on the hourly, so it's a nice short. Play it just down into this propulsion gap. Just don't, everything at the moment, just don't get greedy with anything at the minute. Get in, get out as fast as you can, because things are volatile at the moment. And US dollar yen, which we know about. Things gone nuts today. So just on this one, when we talk about intervention moves, we always get a warning shot before we get the intervention. I say always, normally. So if you come and look at the very first intervention, which is here last time, and you go down onto the hourly chart, we had a warning shot. Yeah, see that candle? Look familiar? Exactly what we just had this morning. And then that happened. So, you know, I'm not saying it is. Obviously, I've no idea. No one has any idea. But here we go. Yeah, warning shot. Bang. Yeah, look at what we just got. Yeah, so this is potentially the day, but it is all, you know, down to the Japanese and what they want to do. There's so many other factors at play, though. This is the difference we have now as to last October. We weren't in the middle of wars. We weren't just starting wars. We didn't have oil prices going through the roof. We didn't have cost of living crises in the way we are now. It's just the world is different. So the market isn't going to do exactly what it did. It's going to do something different, but we know what to expect. So just be careful. Right. That's all I've got for you today. That's all the ADRs and all the RSIs. DAX is done. With Darwin X0, the leverage for indices is only 3. Yeah, Darwin X0 isn't a brokerage, though. That's something different, isn't it? You like the punishment. I can't remember what that was, but no, I don't really. I tell you what, I got punished yesterday. I went to Karen's for lunch yesterday. I said in the Telegram group, it's the most hilarious lunch I've ever had in my life. If you don't know what Karen's is, it's a restaurant chain. It's worldwide. And basically the staff just abuse you. It's excellent food, horrendous service. So you walk in basically at a reception. First thing that happened, we walked into reception. We were standing outside with a load of other people, like just before 12 o'clock, because we got kids, we're going early. And basically everyone was standing outside. No one had the balls to go in first. So we went in first. And this woman just came like strutting up to us and said, 3 minutes past 12, really? And our reservation was at 12. So she sat down and went, what's your name? Come on, what's your name? And we said our name, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I suppose your booking's at 12 and you've just turned up late, haven't you? And that's basically how it starts. And then she told us to go and find our own table. And she told us to F off. And hurry up because there was people queuing behind us. And then she held the menus out in front of us and just dropped them on the floor. And as we went to pick them up, she was like, hurry up. We got people waiting. So you can see how the whole meal went. It's hilarious. And then the waitress comes over and is abusive to you. She puts hats on people's heads with nasty things written on them. It's just excellent fun. So if you get a chance to go to a Karen's, the food's all right. Burgers. It's just burgers and chips and stuff. But the service is hilarious. Very funny. Yeah, it was good fun. So I do like punishment because I went there basically to get abused by the waiting staff, which was good fun. I use 30x leverage on Pepperstone. Yeah, anything 30. Basically, if you're using a regulated broker in your own country, you're only really going to get 31. If you're using leverages higher than that, you have to go overseas to get them. And you lose your negative balance protection. So you just got to be careful. What broker do I use? This is Robo Forex. So if you want to, on the website, there's a section called My Recommendations. This, I'll put a link in the group, but everything I use is there. At the moment, I'm not trading prop, but if I was trading prop, I would still be EA would still be my choice, and Take Profit Trader would still be my choice for futures. But yeah, there's my Robo Forex is my broker. There's other stuff there. Can I have a look at New Zealand dollar Swiss? So that's bouncing up. Longs on New Zealand dollar Swiss at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're in a nice accumulation at the moment down here. Average is bloody miles away on this. So New Zealand dollar Swiss caught, well, didn't catch me off guard, but the price action was just so aggressive. This was the first intervention move that we had, which was a Friday before, obviously the weekend, because that's when Friday is. But it was a Friday. So this was basically where they bought the crap out the Swiss franc. This was the first weekend after the Hamas killings. So the market wanted to put its money somewhere safe over the weekend in case it obviously kicked off. And then we just basically been sitting around on it. So the distance between these first two entries was well over an ADR. And then we had another big strong push, which was big as well. So that means that my average is actually a lot further away than I would want it. So targeting on this, obviously that's the initial propulsion move before the safe haven run. It's very difficult to pick a target upside on this. I need to get up here to get out. So this accumulation here, which we broke with that little safe haven run, is where I think we will probably head back to. It's not really going to get me out with much profit at all on this. It's going to be a very difficult trade to exit. So that's really all I'm going to target there and hope that we can get back up there. But I will watch what happens on this one. We'll see. Obviously, as I said, with the safe haven runs, you tend to find they just get undone. But it needs a reason to undo, obviously. And the other danger with these is if a safe haven run's happened and you stick in it for a while, and then the fundamentals shift, i.e. so that maybe the New Zealand dollar suddenly weakened more, or the Swiss franc has suddenly gained more strength because of maybe, like this afternoon, the euro rate goes up, that will power up the Swissy. You might find that actually you don't get that undone because the fundamentals push it down further. And when you get the undoing of the Swiss franc move, all it does is undo 50% of the total thing that you've got. So there's always that danger because fundamentals shift. But where is that place? They're all over the world, Karens. So BeMoreKaren.com. There's no, I'm not going to watch some. There's a video. There you go. This one. This gives you an idea of what to expect, basically. Vegan burger. So basically, my eldest son, is 15, right? We went into a burger joint. Yeah, so it's a burger joint. They sell burgers. So he orders the chicken Caesar salad. And she went, "You're having a fucking laugh, aren't you? You come to a burger joint and you ordered a salad." And as she turned around and walked off, she went, "Dickhead." It's a 15-year-old kid. But this is basically what you get. They basically just abuse you constantly. And they shout and they scream. Don't ask for ice in your drink. One tip. I was just going to see if I can find that bit of the clip. Yeah, and don't make a mess on the table either. I'll give you lots of hints. But yeah, they don't, basically everything you would expect your waitress to do, they do the opposite, right? So when your food's ready, they'll put it on the table next to you, right? And then they'll just walk off. And they'll bring you over a drink, no ice in it. If you ask for ice, they'll bring you a scoop of ice and chuck it on your table. It's basically, that's the experience. So, but they're all over the place. You go to locations on the website. Indonesia, New Zealand, UK, Asia, Canada, US, they're all over the gaff. So, but can't recommend it highly enough. It's brilliant. If you like being abused in a restaurant. Ed DeBevics, what's that? And Dick's Last Resort, same restaurant concept in the UK. Oh, right, okay. In the USA, right. Okay. Yeah. This was, I think Karen's was started in Australia or something, but yeah, it's good fun. And they drag you out as well. You know, like when you go on holiday and you go and watch entertainment on holiday and they have audience participation. Luckily, it was the kids' turn yesterday, but they get this wheel and they spin a wheel and they make you do stupid things. So, not for everybody. Anyway, enough about Karens. Pound odd. What's my thoughts on pound odd? Not a lot at the moment. Sideways. So I've had a couple of shorts on the pound odd, as you can see from there. Other than that, nothing. There was a long. Oh yeah, sorry. And I got in long yesterday, and I got out yesterday because I was worried about the Australian dollar move. But yeah, it's just in a range at the minute. So right now, if you're going to take a range trade, the last thing you do with a range trade is take a range trade from the middle of a range. You take range trades from extremes so that it's got movement. So from here, it can go up or it can go down. If it's going to remain in this range here, it's going to go either there or there. If you're taking a trade from here, you have a 50-50 shot at long or short. And this is not doing anything at the moment. If it gets down to there, I'd long it. If it gets up to there, I'd short it. But right now, doing nothing. They haven't got one in South Africa now, unfortunately, yet. It's a franchise though, Dion. So get in touch with them and open the first one in South Africa. Because it's a franchise. So you can open one yourself. I think it's the best place to work in the world. Can you imagine being able to be just horrible to someone immediately? So if you're having a bad day at work, you can just be yourself. Fantastic. If you're having a good day at work, you can just be nasty and having even more fun. Brilliant. Can I share my thoughts on oil? Oils are long at the moment based on lots of things. It's a long because it's a pullback on a long. All the big players in the market are forecasting $100 a barrel by the end of the year, which is up here. So if it's going to go up to there by the end of the year, you don't want to be shorting it. Oil price is affected by conflict in a positive manner. We have conflicts just about to kick off, and we've got one already running. And at the moment, we've got restrictions on supply put in place by OPEC, which supply being restricted, demand remaining the same, means prices increase. If we invalidate that low, however, I should be thinking again. But right now, I'm long with 4 now, which is slightly worrying. But initial target is obviously up there at the highs. In fact, initial target is there, that propulsion gap. So that's why I'm getting out of my first position. But my average is here. So I'm averaged in at $85 a barrel, 85.80. So I can get out at any time on a rally. So I just need an update, basically, to get out. Did you get triggered on EU? Nope. EU's not extended on the hourly. For me, anyway. The EA didn't take anything on that. It's the second time we've hit that level. So, as I said, that's what I'm expecting. That's pretty much exactly the move I'm expecting. A push down into that support, which is that previous resistance. Support. Or it's just going to go from there. We're ever so slightly in an upward channel on this at the moment. So it's slightly bullish. I mean, I don't trade chain. You know, this means absolutely nothing to me. Whether or not the distance it pulled back last time was that has got, you know, that being there now does not mean it's going up. Whether this goes up or down today is going to be determined at 1:15 this afternoon when the interest rate figure comes out for the euro. If it bounces there, all the trendline junkies are going to go, hey, look how good trend lines are. No, it's just coincidental that it got to this level and the euro rate announcement happened at 1:15. That's why it went up, not because of your stupid line you drew on your chart, mate. If it goes down, they'll go, well, that's because of it's just moving into a range and coming out the channel. No, it's going down because the euro rate announcement came out and it drove the euro down, mate. Yeah, you can draw on as many lines on your chart as you like. The price has no idea those lines exist. It knows nothing about a line on your chart or anybody else's chart, and the banks don't use them. So trend lines are bloody useless. Just goes up and down on fundamentals. Do you consider coach while taking trade or just ADR? What? Do you consider Chotch while taking trade or just ADR? Mohammed, you might as well be speaking Japanese to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. If you want to learn how I trade, there's no links going in chat either, is there? There's something wrong with Streamlabs. Streamlabs is not doing my stuff. That's why I'm not getting notifications either. Streamlabs is broken. But yeah, if you want to learn how I trade, go and watch the Position Trading Bootcamp. There on the website. Stochastics? No, I don't use stochastics. Another ICT guru in the house. Is that an ICT term, is it? Gotch. I thought that was a spelling mistake. I don't even know what that is. I'm looking at the word thinking, what does that mean? Change? Do you mean change of structure? In which case, how do you get change of structure out of Chotch? Change of chart hallucination? Change of country holistics? Don't know. I love it when you talk about trendline traders. I know. Change of character. Oh, God. He'll use anything to sell a course, won't he? Change of character. How does the market change character? Change of character. Oh, my God. I don't know what's even more worrying. The amount of people in here that know what that crap term means, or I don't know. Change up, change to down. Do you see why I don't like ICT stuff? You're all talking total bollocks, right? There's three things that happen. It goes sideways, it goes up, it goes down. I'll tell you what. Give me $1,000 and I'll explain that to you using some complex terminology that won't help you because the odds are still 50-50 in one of those two things happening. Chotch. Anyway, flip a coin, right? Press the buy or the sell button. The odds are exactly the same as if you study ICT for a year and go, there's a Chotch coming. Doesn't make any difference. Like I said, yeah, the trendline junkies are now doing that. Oh my God, that's a terrible line. You can't see that, can you? The trendline junkies are drawing this whacking great line on their chart now going, hey, we're just about to bounce. No, we're not. Because of that and that in the past, how does that affect what the next candlestick is going to do? At 1:15 this afternoon, if you look at this on a 4-hour chart, this will make a lot more sense. This is what the junkies are looking at, right? At 1:15 this afternoon, they will either be proved right or wrong. What are the odds of that happening? Every indicator, every strategy, everything you do boils down to one thing. It'll either go up or down. There is nothing on this planet that can tell you what the 4-hour candle is going to be at 1:15 this afternoon, apart from the 4-hour candle at 1:15 this afternoon. The banks don't know yet. How the hell does a bloody line on your chart predict the future? How does a Chotch? I don't even know how to say it because I don't know what it is. But how can Chotch predict the future? How many times does it fail? I'll ask you that question. If you've done ICT course, or not any course, doesn't matter whose it is, but if you've studied that CHOCH thing, how often does it work? Somewhere around about 40 to 60%. I don't know, but I'm 99% sure I'm right, because that's what everything is. 50-50. CHOCH. It's like that thing you came up with, the IPDA. Was it the interbank? I can never remember what it's called. Interbank price delivery algorithm, isn't it? IPDA. Yeah. IPDA came up with something called IPDA. It controls the Forex market. The interbank price delivery algorithm is doing this. Fucking not, mate, because I know people in banks and they've never heard of an IPDA, and they work on the desks that manipulate it. The market maker desks, they work on them. They've never heard of it. You're selling a course to people about this thing that you've made up. CHOCH. Here's a load of CHOCH. Gems. I have no idea what all those flowers and plants mean, but hello and thanks for the flower. Long live CHOCH. It's good fun. Do you know what? No one else comes in here with any other concept, and that's how brainwashed this industry has been by that guy, right? No one else comes into this room ever and says, have you heard of this? Or have you heard of that? Everybody literally comes in and they mention ICT or some ICT terminology. It's like a pandemic that has swept the internet. And there's not one person has ever come to me and said they've been profitable with it. Yet everybody knows about it and everybody's doing it. Yeah. Even the guys over at CTI, City Traders Imperium, the prop firm, right? They have a course that they sell called Bank Levels, based on smart money concepts, based on ICT's stuff, which he took from other people in the past and reworded into other things. Even people who have done that course have come to me and said it doesn't work, because nothing can work, can it? If you think about it, wherever you get this CHOCH, which I presume is maybe a line on the chart that will have CHOCH written under it. I don't know, but I've seen other things that have got a BOS written on them and stuff, which it stands for break of structure, which I can understand because that's market structure. But, you know, when it gets to this, you're either going to get a CHOCH or you're not going to get a CHOCH. Yeah. When you get to a resistance, you're either going to get a break of resistance or a rebound from resistance. When it gets to a moving average, you're either going to get a bounce from the moving average or a break of the moving average. When the RSI gets extended, it's either going to come down or it's going to accumulate and go up. I can draw as many 50s as you like on the chart, but every single thing you ever do in everything to do with trading has got the same odds. It goes that way, up or down, time, price. There's only two things that happen in this market, time and price. Price can do two things and time can only do one. Just don't make it complicated. When it gets extended down to one level, whatever you use, buy it, because the highly likely it's going to go up again because it's just come down. Go and look on any chart, on any time frame, and scroll out and see what price does. Comes down, it goes up, 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 because there's only one thing it can bloody do. Come down or go up. So just buy it. And then if you're right, get out. If you're wrong, deal with it. I teach you how to deal with it. If you're right, you don't need to deal with it, do you? Just get out, take the money. Don't need anything more complicated at all. My system is very easy. One condition is met, one signal is given, I press a button. I then wait and see what happens. If it works, I get out. If it doesn't work out, I get in again and change the price. It's that easy. You don't need anything more complex than lines on your chart to look at where it's potentially going to bounce from. I only use this because I'm lazy. If I really wanted to go through every chart and analyze it properly, I would get rid of this and just use this, but I can't be asked. I don't need to, because when it gets to there, the odds are the same as if I take that. The odds are the same. Doesn't matter, does it? Because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't when you get to support and resistance, when you get to a trend line, when you get to a whatever. All the same stuff. All overcomplicated, massively overcomplicated. Trendline junkies got me cracking up like an idiot in the gym. Google it. What, Chotch? I can't be asked. You Google it. Sometimes my wife has a Chotch. Yeah, everybody has a Chotch. I can't even remember what it's called. What is it? Change of character. Yeah. It's as if the market's a human being. It's got to change. It's changed its character. No, it hasn't. It's just changed its direction. This is the, again, I'm not going to labour the point, but on my website, I've got this video, and it is, I get more comments on this video than I do on any other video. It's this one. Stop buying trading courses. I'm going to put it in the chat again, but this is the one that I get the most messages on Telegram for. And it's that exact reason that we're looking at and what we're talking about now. Yeah. I could now make a course and I could put, I don't know, a day into it and make a 5-hour course where I just sit here and I waffle about how when you get to a level, you can have a change in regime, which will make the price move in a direction. And I'll sell that to you for 1,000 and I'll call it a change in regime, not a change in character or a change in structure or a change in direction or whatever the word I put on the end of the change of, right? I can sell to you for $1,000, but it's still giving you the same information. It will move to a level and it will go away from that level, possibly. You're paying 1,000 quid for that, or 500 or 2,000, whatever you're paying for every course you take. They're telling you the same thing. It goes up and down, and you've got no bloody way of predicting which way it's going to go in the future because you haven't got a time machine. I love it because it gives me something to talk about. But the last time I did ICT studies was in school. ICT studies, I don't know what that was. Displacement is another. Yeah, call it what you want. Call it displacement. There's other terms that are used as well, isn't there? The what's the thing where he draws 3 lines on the chart, and you buy it here and sell it here or something. It's value. Is it value? I can't remember what it's called. Someone will know because. But what am I drawing on the chart here? Right. So you draw 2 lines, right, and you draw a line in the middle. What's that? Premium and discount, Matt. Thank you. What have I just drawn on the chart? What have I just drawn on the chart? A range. Right? What have you paid $1,000 for? Being told it's called premium and discount. It's the same thing. It's a range. It moves up and down in market structure, right? By sheer way it moves up and down, it has to come back into an area that is lower than that, higher than that, for market structure to continue. What have I just drawn there? Oh my God. Hang on a minute. I'll give you this one for free. I've just built a course, right? I'm going to give you this one for free though, okay? But what you could do is maybe draw a Fibonacci, and it could be a 71.9 retracement. But we'll call it premium. See what I mean? It's all the same stuff, right? You're being sold the same stuff with a different name over and over again. Sell it. Repackage it in a blue box. Sell it. Repackage it in a brown box. Sell it. Repackage it in a black box. Sell it. How many courses am I selling you? Telling you that the market goes into ranges and it pulls back in ranges and goes up and down. Sometimes it pulls back to a 50, 61.8, 71.9, but I'll call it a premium and sell it to you again. It's the same stuff over and over again. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I'll tell you what, I haven't tried. Trend lines. What's a trend line? Yeah. Get 2 of them. What's it called? A channel? What's a channel? It's a range on its side. with premium and discounts or whatever. I don't know which way they go around, but it's the same thing. And it's still got Fibonacci ratios. Any other courses? Anyway, with these YouTube courses, with these YouTube courses, the only kid that can actually trade is Don Vo, because he streams everything. I don't even know who Don Vo is. I've not heard of him. But if he streams live and he trades live, fair play. If he can come on here and show you a strategy that works and makes money, brilliant. I do it every day. I've just done it this morning. We've just come in here. I've been doing it every day this week. Look, this account is sitting at 30% this month. All green, every day. I do it in here, live. And I don't have anything complicated, do I? I say, wait until 8 o'clock in the morning, draw 2 lines on the chart. If it breaks short, hit the button. Jesus, it works. What? But hang on a minute. You haven't drawn a line in the middle of it and called it a... No, because I go with the way the price goes. And if the price goes down, I could buy it down there. And if it goes down a bit further, I could buy it again, put a line in the middle there and get out there and make some money as well. Because all it does is go up and down. But I could put a name on it, couldn't I? Whatever it is. But if Don Vo does that and he comes in here and he trades live and he shows you how he makes money, that's brilliant. And if he can do it every day, that's brilliant. Follow him, for God's sake. Don't follow anybody else. Seriously. Follow the people that make the money, because they're the ones that, and you will find everybody that's making money on this hasn't got anything complicated anywhere. They are literally, I have a lot of stuff on my chart, but everything on my chart is telling me something that might happen. It's not anything more than that's what happened last time. That's where it went last time. This is where it went last time. It's all stuff that's happened. But I've found relationships between stuff that's happened and stuff that might happen. That's all I've done. Nothing on here is ever going to make any confirmation as to whether a price is going to do anything in the future at all. And the best people in this industry that teach are the ones that tell you that. Yeah, not that charge you $1,000 to tell you that. That's the thing, isn't it? It's just the money. It's all about the money. I did Google it. See above UJ. This should be it. 142 propulsion gap target. See you in December. UJ, you can't have anything about... Oh, yeah, no, you can in UJ, actually, can't you? It's the old level. It's the old intervention level. That's where we're going as a maximum. If we don't come down before. I don't know. This is the thing. Like, look at what's happening today on this. Which way's the next candlestick going, everybody? 50% of you will be right, 50% will be wrong. I know where it's more likely to go, but chain reaction product, they say, ask £1 million that nuclear bomb. That makes no sense. Sorry, I don't understand that. I'm going to put 500 lines and indicators on my chart just in case you're kidding. One of them is not fit. This is the thing, right? Again, Ian's just hit another nail on the head, right? Every time price moves from one level to another, I can tell you exactly why it happened by using a indicator. So I'm going to use a moving average for this because it's the easiest thing. Right? So I'm going to start off with a 50. Okay? That didn't work. Right? So what I'm looking for is, why did that do that? That's what I want to know. So it wasn't because of the 50. So I think it was maybe the 150. It was the 150. There you go. So if you'd like to give me $500, I will now sell you a course which will explain about the magic secrets in the bank, about the 150 EMA. Why can't I click on it? Click on the moving average. Oh my God, why can't I click on that moving average? Oh my God. It's not working. Anyway, 150 EMA. So I shouldn't show you that, should I? Because now I've given away the secret. Yeah. You can make up your own course right now and sell it to someone. And if that 150 moving average doesn't work very well, I can change it to be better. Yeah. So in the past, that 150 was good. But if I'd used a 250, no, not as good. Not as good, is it? So it missed it there. There's no it worked there. Look at that beautiful one. Look at that beautiful 250 bounce. Nice 250 bounce there. Look. See what I mean? Everybody can make a course about everything and sell it to you, but none of it means anything in the future. That 150 moving average is not going to get respected in the future. It may do at some point, but that doesn't mean it's the 150 that caused the move, is it? It just happened to be at the same level. This happened to bounce at the high there. Yeah? No, it didn't happen to bounce at the high there. It bounced at the high there because the banks and institutions sold hard at that level. They are short, which means that they have placed limit orders at the highs to defend the position and drive price back down again. There is a logical banking reason why that has happened. And it's just a line. And the odds of it happening were 50%. They either would get run over by the other banks or they would beat the other banks when you get there. There's 10 of them that drive the market. They've got billions. Who's got the biggest billions at that point will determine whether or not it goes up or down. Nothing else. Nothing else in the market makes that move apart from the volume of money placed by institutions. But I can always find an indicator that will show you exactly why it happened and sell it to you for something. Premium discount. Chose sentiment. Change of sentiment. If you want a sentiment indicator, go onto my website. I've got the best one in the world. Yeah, retail. Actually, combined sentiment is better because that is actually got a little bit more meaning behind it. Yeah, so combined sentiment is the bank's futures positioning, the actual orders they have placed long or short in the bank, combined with the retail idiots who go the wrong way. Yeah. So right now you want to be buying the Euro odd, the Euro CAD, US dollar CAD, and the US dollar yen because the market is positioned long on it. Retail is positioned long, COT is positioned long. However, that last one you want to think twice about at the moment because it's too high. Chris, it was a joke. Yeah, so I didn't get that one. But anyway, I'm a bit stupid sometimes. Optimal trade entry. Yeah, what is the optimal trade entry? Order block. Yeah, you're not allowed to use the terminology order block. It's copyright. It's not actually copyright, but an order block. It's all to do with change of structure, isn't it? The market reversal alerts indicator uses the last up order before the low to show you where the buyers take control. This is a very simple indicator. It takes the last up candle when a low is made and says, right, this is where the buyers tried to take control of the market. If we break above that level, they won. It's not doing anything more complicated. I don't need to put a special name on it or anything. It's literally a changing market structure. The structure is bearish until it's not, because it's not. Why is it not? The buyers took control of it. Yeah. So this is this whole change of structure thing. I think this is why I get so many ICT people, because they think it's the same thing. It's not. It's a signal indicator that fails most of the time. It does. Fails all the time. Because every time the buyers take control, what's the odds of them remaining in control? 50%. They're either gonna or they're not. This isn't magic. I get people sending me messages saying, oh God, strike rate's been about 20% today. Yeah, because the sellers were in control and you took every buy. Why did you take every buy? Well, because the indicator told me to. Indicator's got no idea, is it? All it's doing is telling you what's happened. What's that got to do with the future? Nothing. Doesn't work, does it? At least I'm honest with it. At this point, if they're not streaming everything live, it's not worth listening to. No. Exactly. That's exactly what you should be doing. But then again, look at some of the people that are streaming live as well every day. There's people out there, I'm not going to name who they are, but there's people out there that I've followed in the past, years ago, who trade futures. And when you look at their channel over time, they publish what they made that day. So the title of the video will be $750 profit trading D, or $600 profit trading D, $300 loss trading D. I actually went through one of those channels and I got a calculator out and I went through 3 months putting in what they said they'd done on a day. And they did, this is what they did live. They traded this live and they put the result in the video title. Loss. Looks good day by day. Calculate it over a 3-month period. It's a loss. So yes, they're doing it live. They're showing you it live and it's looking great live, but they're making a loss long term because they are. They just are. But it's, you know, it's one of those, you've got to do your due diligence. Fixed any websites recently? No. I could do, couldn't I? I like changing websites. Oh, AD, they're not publishing today. Boeing's figures didn't come out yesterday. That's only when I get really bored. You're talking about Warrior Trading. No, I'm not talking about Warrior Trading. They do stocks, doesn't he? That guy. I've done Warrior Trading's course. I did Warrior Trading's course years and years and years and years and years ago. I can't actually remember it, but I couldn't get anywhere with it. The only stock trading course I would ever recommend is Kunal Desai, Bulls on Wall Street. That guy knows what he's doing. And he does it live every day with you, like I do. So if you're going to do if you want to get into stocks, Kunal Desai, brilliant. A lot of what I do is based off of Kunal's teachings. It's not actually at all because it's in stocks and I don't trade stocks, but the opening range breakout strategy is part of what I learned as in stock trading. But Warrior Trading, as you've just said, AZ, the problem with Warrior Trading is you can't do it. You can't execute it because he is trading small cap stocks with no liquidity at the open and he's in and out within seconds. You will never, ever, ever get his name. Just something to say about his name. You will never, ever get his entries and exits. You can't replicate what he does. But I'm not saying he doesn't make money. He might well make money, but you're never going to make the same as him because you'll never get the same trades as him. You'll get totally different trades. So it's like me in here when I come in here. So yesterday, people were talking in Telegram. I made money yesterday. Other people got different results to me. I got different results to me. My Dow trade over there didn't get hedged. My Dow trade here did get hedged. But the way I make money is by making a decision as to how to exit the trade and when to exit the trade. If I exit the trade here, and then by the time I've posted something in Telegram, which is why signal services do not work, you will never make money following someone's signals. By the time I get into Telegram and post that signal, it's down here somewhere. I got out down here. And you're like, well, I can't get out down here. Well, sorry about that. Follow signals. They don't work. Learn to trade. Learn price action. Understand the market. Read it. You've got to be able to do this. You can't do a course. You can do a course and become a qualified pilot. And the first time you get in a plane, you could crash it. Yeah. You might have read the book and got an A star. Does it make you a good pilot? No. You can read as many books about trading as you want and get as many courses as you want about trading. Does it make you a good trader? No, it makes you knowledgeable. It doesn't make you good at the job, does it? There's a lot of politicians, very intelligent people. Are they running the country right? No. Doesn't make you, just because you know stuff doesn't mean you're good at stuff. I have crap days and I'm looking at some of my crap days and I just go, idiot, because you're human. Please write his name. I don't know how to spell his name. It's Balls on Wall Street. I'll put a link. If you want to go and... I mean, he's going to charge you thousands of pounds, yeah? This isn't free. Canal does not do this for free. I don't know what his course costs. When I did it, it was a couple of grand. That's not what you want. What you want is the course. Canal. I love him. He's brilliant. The reason I really clicked with Canal was because he doesn't pull his punch. He's just like me. He's like, just shut up. You're talking crap. Do this and just shut up. Basically, is that's what you'll get. It's like going to Karen's for lunch. You will get abused. That's for $30,000. He delivers live as well. But yeah, his Balls on Wall Street. I'll put a link in the chat if you want to go and have a look at him, but only if you want to do stock trading. And I would have to say it's not easy stock trading. It's complex, it's technical, and it's hard, very hard. This is much easier. Stock index, trading the indices, this is infinitely easier. If you're going to trade stocks, you've got to do screening. You've got to understand the difference between small cap, large cap. You've got to understand earnings. You've got to understand gaps, what happens on them. You've got to understand a lot of technical stuff. You need to learn new software. You need to learn TC2000. You're going to need to pay for data feeds. Your contracts, you are trading contracts, not lots. It's a different language. So if you're system hopping, and the reason you're interested in it is because you can't find anything that works, go and do the bootcamp first and try trading the indices. It's simple, dumbed down, very easy compared to what you would learn with Canal. But I'm always up for more education. Yeah, the more you learn, the better. But there's I would have to say, probably the only course I would ever recommend out of all the courses I've done, because he doesn't give you any BS. He teaches you like it. You will see him lose thousands a day. Lose. That's the important thing. You will see him live lose thousands a day, and then you will see him live make thousands a day, and you will see that he gets it wrong all the time. I get it wrong all the time. Sometimes we get hedged. I can't make money. I'm having a great month, a great week, but it's not always that way, is it? It's real. That's what you want. You want real. You don't want someone selling a course that never actually talks to you. With all this negativity about indicators, I'm off to Karen's for a bite. Go for it. Go in a bad... go to Karen's in a bad mood. It's much more fun if you can fight back. I was in a good mood yesterday because I was just having a day off and I was in a good mood. And yeah, it's very hard when someone comes up and is trying to be abusive to you not to laugh. What's his basic strategy? Canal, he's got a number of strategies. Momentum. It's all about momentum. Stocks is about momentum. Exactly the same. What we've just traded this morning is very much what Canal teaches. He'll give you strategies, right? So he's got multiple strategies that he'll teach you. Gap and go, VWAP fade, VWAP fizzle. There's lots of strategies that he's created, but all of those strategies or none of those strategies could be implemented in the market. And that's the key thing that he teaches in exactly the same way as I teach it. So this morning, we've got a gap down this morning. We could gap fill or we could gap and go. Yeah. What did I say this morning? We could do that or we could do that. Yeah. Canal will say, right, okay, here's the screen. We've gone through 2,000 stocks. We've got a list of 7 stocks we're going to watch on the screen. So these ones have gapped down on earnings. So what we could expect from these is either they're going to gap and go, in which case we should short them, or they're going to fizzle back and fill the gap. Yeah. What do you do with that information? You got a 50-50 shot, but you have a system, a strategy. when we open, we look at the initial break. We're either going to take the break, we're going to go down and we're going to hit the target, or we're not. We're going to go up, we're going to go down, and we're going to get hedged. If we get hedged, what are we going to do? We're going to go up to there. We're going to watch for price action at the gap fill to see if we can get out. If it goes down, we're going to look at it go down to ADR or previous support. It's the same thing every day. Rinse, repeat. The edge is there, but you're not going to get it right every day, and you're not going to know what to do. You go with momentum, because in the stock market, when that bell rings, that's when it all happens. And it's the same with the stocks, individual stocks like Nvidia. If Nvidia's got earnings, who had earnings yesterday? You'll see a tip. I'll show you a play from yesterday. We wouldn't be playing these because these are large caps, but CME or Boeing. So who have I got on here? I've got Nvidia. Let's see what Nvidia did yesterday. So yeah, yes, yeah, this is this morning, isn't it? Hang on, we're not open yet, are we? So this is yesterday, because the stock market's shut, so obviously there's no movement. So this is Nvidia yesterday. If you were trading the futures market, you would see an indicator on your chart called the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price. And basically, everything in the stock market moves around volume. Volume is the key to making money in stocks. We can't see it in CFDs, but you can in the futures. So you'll have the VWAP. Yeah, and the VWAP is like a moving average. Okay, and what you will find, it wouldn't have done it today. So this would have been a day which would be a gap and go. That's the trade. That's where you would take your entry, on a gap and go, or you're going to get a gap fill. Yeah. So this particular strategy, these are days where you get killed. Yeah, exactly the same as we do on the indices. It's all the same stuff. It's stocks. It opens, it either goes or it doesn't. If there's no earnings, it won't go anywhere. So the VWAP fizzle basically is you wait for price to push down, and then you look for price to slow down, and you look for it to pull back into the volume weighted average price. At that point, you can either take a VWAP bounce, depending on whether you need to take a trade today, because you either made money or you haven't made money, or you've taken the VWAP fizzle and made your money in that way. Yeah. So he teaches you certain strategies, but the only indicator he's teaching you is the volume weighted average price. Everything else is about momentum on those candlesticks. Nothing else. It's bare naked, which is why so many people struggle with it. Because if you can't read candlestick price action very well, you won't ever be able to do that. When I did Kunal's course, which was a good more than a decade ago, I hadn't even done price action. That was my introduction to price action. Completely confused the hell out of me. I made money at it, but I lost more money than I did because I didn't know about psychology and lots of other stuff. But the strategies are sound. And the strategies are all based on, is it going? Yeah. It's all the same stuff. All right. So this trade here today, or yesterday, what is it? It's a range breakout. That's all it is. The market opened, we pushed down, we pushed up, we double topped at the open, we pushed down, we double bottomed at the low, and then we broke out of the range. It's an opening range breakout, except it's not an opening range breakout. It's a 1.5 hour breakout. Doesn't matter, does it? It's price action breakout. And what's happening is you would find the VWAP would have been there, and it probably would have bounced back off the VWAP. So that would have been your initial VWAP bounce. There's lots of other plays. I can't even remember what they all are, but it's all the same stuff. Yeah, so be warned. If you know about support and resistance, you know about price action. All you're doing is you're taking those concepts and you're putting them onto other instruments. In the stock market, you've got somewhere in the region of 5,000, 10,000. So now your job today as a stock trader is infinitely more complex. Which of those 5,000, 10,000 stocks do I trade today? So part of your job before the market even opens for an hour is to sit there and scan stocks. So you've got a hell of a lot of work to do before you even get to the market open. And then at the market open, you'll have a short list, a hit list of stocks you can trade. And out of those stocks you can trade, you'll have them all up on the screen and you'll be looking for the ones that move. And if none of them move, you sit there and you wait and you do nothing. And then an hour and a half in, you go, shh, didn't make any money today. It's bloody complicated and hard work. So, but it's brilliant because it's no bullshit. This is the real world. That's what you want. You want someone in the real world. And someone you can talk to. Kunal, you can talk to Kunal. Why do I'm pointing over there? He's not over there. AZ, I started at Warrior Trading and then bought a course from a guy called Zed Monopoly. Good name. Spent a year in Nick Sean's paid Telegram. Then back to the futures trading. Charged me $1,000 for a system. Finally found me, thank God. Again, Nick Sean, I don't really know Nick's. As far as I can tell, he's just a support and resistance trader, which is great. But he makes his money in Telegram and he shows a lot of pictures about Porsches. Yeah. A lot of stuff is him standing in his nice house, standing in front of his nice car. Yeah. Selling you a £2,000 course, telling you how to compound money, which doesn't work, and even telling you that you will blow your account with this strategy, and yet you still buy it. I don't know if his paid Telegram, I've obviously never been in there, but if you're here, AZ, I'd suggest it doesn't work, does it? Otherwise you'd be there. That's all I can say, isn't it? If you find something that works, you stay there. Yeah. If all of a sudden I gave you a strategy like the stock index hedge strategy and you suddenly started making a load of money at it, you wouldn't stop using it, would you? So if you go somewhere, but if you spent an hour there, a year there, it's obviously got some legs, isn't it? Because normally you can see within a couple of months it ain't working and off you go. That's what system hopping's all about. Learn a bit, doesn't work, off. Learn a bit, doesn't work, off. When you've done that 6 or 7 times, you've learned everything. There's very little you can learn in this industry apart from price action, support and resistance. You'll get taught that in different ways, but you'll suddenly come to the realization it just goes up and down and there's levels it tends to react at. By the time you've twigged that, you're like, right, how do I make money out of it? That's the question you need to answer. You need to find someone that does it on a regular basis. That's all. And he'll show you how he does it and you'll go, oh, I like that, but I don't like the way that works. But if I did it this way, it'd probably suit me better. And then all of a sudden you've made your own system and strategy and you're profitable. That's what that PDF on the website is all about. 5 steps to becoming profitable. You are going to fly through these 5 steps. There is no shortcut. You start there, you get there. That journey has to be taken by everybody. When you've done it, you're there. You are going to get knocked back. You have to get knocked back. It's one of the lessons. If you don't get knocked back, you will get knocked back. Everybody gets knocked back. There's not one person on the planet that hasn't blown an account. Or 5 or 10. You have to. It's part of your education. Call it a cost of doing business. It's your course. If you put $5,000 in an account and blow it, you've just paid $5,000 for that education. Best education you're ever going to get. No course that's going to teach you how to blow an account. You've got to do that yourself. Tammy, I missed your question. Sorry. I just wanted to get a bit of your mind concerning this question. If you were 20 to 22 and caught up in financial market, what system will you use to avoid jumping from strategy to strategy? I don't think you can. You have to jump from strategies to strategy. There's no system. The word system in your question is the problem. There isn't one that works. Yeah. So the whole system hopping problem is caused by system. Yeah. So you've probably watched this video, I'm sure you have, but that video explains the problem. There isn't a system that works. Yeah. Because every system has a failure point, and every person that is looking to make money in the markets is looking for a way to be consistently profitable. You can't be consistently profitable because the market conditions will change constantly, and there isn't a system that works in all market conditions. So you end up in different market conditions using systems which temporarily work and then fail. So you immediately go, that looked good and I can see what worked, but it didn't. So I'm going to try a different thing. And then you try a different system and it works and then it fails. And you go, I learned about that now. That's good. So you've learned something there and you've learned something there. Then you find another system and it just doesn't work. And you go, well, I definitely don't want to do that again. But you've learned something. And then you find a system that kind of works a lot of the time and then suddenly fails. And you're like, there's something in there that worked and you've learned something. You've got to system hop to get your education. There isn't one course out there that teaches you everything. If you do my course right now, my position trading bootcamp, I teach you all of this stuff. None of this works. And all of it works. But you won't believe me because you've got to do it. I can teach you everything, but you won't believe it because you see other people proving me wrong for 5 minutes. You see that guy prove me wrong for 5 minutes, but you don't see the 95 minutes where I was proved right behind the scenes. That's the difficulty. So you're looking for the system and strategy that's the holy grail that doesn't exist. They all will work and they all will fail because market regimes change, market conditions change. You have to adapt to them. Yeah. I always use the S&P as an example because we've never had this before. We've never had that before. We've never had that before. This is what worked before all of this happened. COVID, right? None of this. Every system that you use as a trend trader. So if you went out and bought 3 trend trading systems, amalgamated them together, you would have, for that entire year, you'd have gone, I've cracked it. And then you would have died. So as soon as you started dying, after cracking it for 6 months to a year, you had 2 to 3 months where it didn't work and you go, it doesn't work anymore. I need to find something else. No, you don't. You found it. Just because it's had a couple of months of crap, you found it. Mouse just disappeared then. But they will have failure rates. They will go wrong. Why will they go wrong? Because the market will go range bound for weeks on end and it will chop and chop and chop and it will be contracted and it will just be horrible and we'll be losing money and everyone will go, oh, this is crap. I'm going to find something else. Just wait for the next rally. Yeah. Use this as your P&L. System's working, system's not working. System's working, system's not working. System's working. Holy crap, system's failed. Oh, system's gone way beyond my expectations. System's failing. System's working. Yeah. There isn't a system you can do. There is nothing I can give you that will work all the time. So if you want to be totally, totally robust, go and get 3 systems and backtest them all and see that they all have an edge. Employ all of them onto your account because when that one doesn't work, these 2 will. When that one doesn't work, these 2 will. You know where I'm going with this. Yeah. That's the only advice I can give you. But I can tell you that my camera is stuck in the funniest way. Oh, my camera. Oh, yes. Sorry. You can still hear me though, can't you? Can you still hear me? Basically, my mouse just disappeared off the screen and completely went. And obviously that's when the camera froze. I'm assuming you can still hear me. You can hear me, all right, okay. The camera's gone. Anyway. But yeah, so I can teach you all of that. But you've got to go and do it. So if you're 22 years old, I can write a book about what I would love to have known back then. But even if I could go back in time and teach myself and say, you know what, you're going to spend the next 10 years getting it all wrong, but then all of a sudden you're going to crack it and you're going to make a load of money and it's going to be fantastic. Yeah. If I could teach myself that, I would still have to do that 10 years of crap because that's where the knowledge and the education came in. Some people do it in a year. Some people do it in 3. Some people do it in 5. Some people take way longer, but you've got to go through it. That's the trouble. So there's no system or strategy really that is going to work for you. But any system or strategy that works on momentum or works off of a theory of price movement is worth using. If it works off a indicator in the way that we've got a condition indicator on the RSI here, as long as you understand that is going to be wrong a lot of the time and accept it and just take the losses or position trade it and don't take the losses, you'll be fine. But you've got to go through that process of blowing accounts and of getting everything wrong. It's how we learn as children, isn't it? You go and pick up a kettle. Ow. You don't pick up a kettle again. Yeah. You ride your bike really fast down a hill and it goes wobbling and you come off and you really hurt yourself. You won't go down the hill that fast again. You'll have your fingers over the brakes and you'll be going about 70% of the speed. But if you hadn't come off the bike, you wouldn't have learnt that lesson. There isn't an easy way. But the people, what I would say, the people you want to follow, and this is from my experience of having bought so many courses and had so many mentors, the people you want to follow are the ones that show you that they do it. Yeah. The ones that show you every day what is going on. And the ones that don't go, do this, do that. Ones that go, it could do this, it could do that. Because those people are the ones that know how to make money at the market. All you've got to do is find a way to extract money out of it. You can't predict the future. You don't know which way it's going. But what you can do is figure out a way to extract money, right? So and this is why the position trading course teaches you to do it in that way. There's two ways of making money. You get in, you get out fast. Yeah. Or you get in, it goes wrong, and you wait for the next move or the next move or the next move, because you don't know which move is going to be the one that's going to make you the money. So you can either lose money, lose money, lose money, lose money, or you can get in and wait. That's the difference. Because I don't know whether this is going to go up or down today. I haven't got a clue. I would say up because there's a gap fill. Why? Because gaps get filled. Kunal taught me that 10 years ago. Did I listen to him? No. I went off system hopping. Now I've come back and gone, Jesus, Kunal was right. Why? Because I've got 10 years experience seeing these bloody things get filled. It's 10 years experience. It's not because of what he said. It's because of what I've experienced. That's what's made me suddenly go, right, well, it's probably going to go long today. But also, gaps don't get filled. Yeah, it's rare. But sometimes they don't get filled. That one took a while, but it did. Yeah, that one took a while, but it did. That one hasn't been filled yet. That one hasn't been filled yet. What's our bias? Long. Why? Because there's gaps to fill. Are they going to get filled? No idea. But I'm not a slave to, I've got to buy this. You've got to go with momentum. We went short today for no other reason than the market went short. Why did we go short? Because they sold it. Well, if they're selling it, I'll sell it. If they're buying it, I'll buy it. Is it going to go far enough for me to make money? That's all you need to worry about. There's no system or strategy that's going to give you the same result every time you do it. Can't. It just doesn't work that way. Wish my camera would come back. It's really annoying. Anyway, I pretty much finished. I finished actually ages ago. Oh, look, I'm back. I'm back. So there you go. I got a calculator out and tallied up. During that year, I was in his paid group. He failed to make money. After that, he started hedging. Yeah. You're talking about Sean, what's Nick Sean? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, so I've never been in his group. I don't know, but there's a lot of people out there that will be around for a very, very short amount of time because they don't properly test what they do. So, you know, I get all the time people say, I found the best settings for the ORB, and I'm like, brilliant, excellent, send it over. And they send me a set file and I'll test it and I'll send them an email back going, it doesn't work. So, well, it worked over the last 3 weeks. Jesus Christ, I had a cold over the last 3 weeks. You know, it's just 3 weeks is not long enough to test. Test it over 5 years. Did it produce a profit over 5 years? Yes, use it. So you get a lot of people that develop courses and systems and strategies that test things over a period of 6 months to a year. They execute it, they have a lucky run, and then they have a losing run. And then the losing run somehow gets disappeared. Then it comes back again. Yeah. You know, and I see in, you know, Nick Sean's group, I'm in his free group. I'm in lots of free groups, but I'm in his free group, you know, and I see the same thing in there as I've seen 1,000 times before. Signals getting given out and then made this, made that. What a beauty. That worked. Fantastic. Amazing. All of a sudden, the market goes into a squeeze and it all dries up and you don't hear anything. And it's like, look at this trade. That was amazing. Gave that to my members. Hang on a minute. What about those 15 trades you took? You didn't give us the results of those. But you can't communicate because it's a one-way channel. Yeah. You only see what's important. You only see the positives. And like I said, these people on YouTube, some of these people, and specifically one in the futures market, who I thought was really, really good. And I actually got the calculator. I went through it and was like, shit, he's lost 15 grand over the last 3 months. But yet he says he's just bought, hang on a minute, something's not adding up. He's an affiliate. He also earns an awful lot of money out of YouTube revenue. I've got 79 people in here right now. I don't earn any money out of YouTube. Guarantee you that. He has thousands in his room every day. Imagine what his income is from YouTube. You could probably live off that. Why do you need to make money trading? You don't. Be careful. Use your head. If it looks too good to be true, it is. If anybody ever has one of these on their website, their Telegram group, and it doesn't have to be a Lamborghini, it can be a Porsche, it can be anything nice like that. They are using that to tell you you could do that if you could make it in trading. They have never said to you that I got that through trading. I can rent one as well and stand in front of it. Doesn't mean I bought it through trading, does it? Wish I could. Where on the bootcamp do you talk about what markets to use on the market reversal alerts EA? The entire bootcamp. It's all about Forex trading. Forex, nothing else. Forex. But you can employ position trading methodologies. USB device not recognized again. Something weird going on my computer this morning. You can use position trading methodologies on any market. All I'm teaching you is a way to trade without getting stopped out constantly and using market movement. So any market that moves up and down regularly, you could trade. I choose Forex because Forex is highly manipulated. Stock market, not so much. Stock indices, I never position trade stock indices. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. I just never traded them because stock indices historically, and I'm not saying this is the case now, but historically stock indices trend. Yeah. So there's no point trying to position trade a market that only goes one way. Yeah. This is normal. This is not normal. Yeah. So that's why I don't position trade this. Have I looked into copy trading? No. Euro odds just hit ADR. Big move down on Euro odd. This is Australian dollar strength coming through. Big strong move on the Aussie, as we would expect off the back of those CPI figures. And the New Zealand will be rallying with it as well. No, I mean, the whole... Lucas, I've just been going on about all this stuff about education. Yeah. Copy trading is not going to help your education, is it? If you copy anybody's trading, all you're doing is investing in that person. Yeah. You're not learning to trade. So if you want to do that, my best advice would be go to your bank, put it in your bank, because they're bloody good at making money. Yeah. They'll give you 4 or 5% a year. You want to copy someone's trading, put it in a bank account. Don't copy anybody else unless they can give you a proven track record. And even if they can give you a proven track record, it's got nothing to do with what the next year is going to be. Warren Buffett made a loss. Warren Buffett, most successful investment trader in the world ever, made a loss. You can't even copy his trades, yeah? Because Warren Buffett, as soon as COVID hit, his entire strategy fell out the window. Yeah. Investment firms that have been making fortunes for decades have lost 30, 40, 50% of their portfolio in the last 2 years. Because this has never happened. This has never happened. We've had crashes, we've had blips, but we've never had anything like this. Yeah. Can't copy anyone. Do it yourself. Just get in and get out. Easiest thing to do. If you want to learn how to trade, anybody can do it. I've taught my son to trade. Yeah, very easy. I said to him, go in, press the button, up or down, right? Wait until it gets above where you press the button and get out. That's it. That easy. Do it. Go and put a 0.01 lot size entry buy now on the US 500, right? And then this afternoon, you'll have made money. If it hasn't, if it's gone down, just buy it again. Wait till it comes up and then get out. Lots of guys running 2 accounts with opposite parameters and take the ones that are positive. Yeah. This is another good scam. It's, you know, it's like I said, people that make money in this market don't charge you to teach you how to make money in this market. Yeah. I make a very small income out of selling EAs and stuff. The only reason I do that is because it takes a lot of my time and I want to be paid for that time. But I don't charge for courses. I don't charge for education. I come here and I give up 2 to 3 hours of my morning and 2 to 3 hours of my afternoon every day, because not because I'm a saint, because I'm trading. So I might as well be in here talking to people about trading and helping them trade, because that's what somebody did for me. I got helped by people for free and I'm passing on what I've learned. But, you know, if somebody says, I'll only help you if you give me $2,000, right? 5 people gave them $2,000 every month and they only had 5 students a month. They're making 10 grand a month. That's a 6-figure salary for helping 5 people a month learn how to trade. Those who can't teach. Have you looked into copy trading? There's a very big hedge fund that trades the DAX. There's lots of hedge funds that trade the DAX. But the same with your EA, for example, we won't know what happens next year. So far, I'm worried because the lots are at 0.01 and the drawdown isn't high. I don't know what you're talking about, Lucas. Sorry. I would say to you, if you're asking me to set up a copy trading account for the EA, I would say to you, just buy the bloody EA and do it yourself. Isn't it easier? Just set up and trade it. You know, you don't need to copy anybody else, do you? It's just pointless. In the Finding Success PDF, you talk about how in the end it's down to you, but I can't see how anyone finds success without removing their stop loss and using proper risk management. I can't see how anyone finds success without removing their stop loss. Yeah. You can't. That's the whole problem. You can, but this is the thing. I'm a double-edged sword, aren't I? Really, I preach in my bootcamp a strategy that tells you why you're losing money is because of stop losses, and you shouldn't use stop losses. You should reduce your lots down tiny, so that you can take advantage of the scaling and the moves in the market, right? And then on the other hand, I come in here every day and produce a huge profit using a strategy that uses stop losses. You can do it. This doesn't use a stop loss. This uses obviously a hedging mechanism, but at the end of the day, you're locking in a loss, aren't you? It's the same, similar sort of thing. But this isn't based off of me having a get in there, get out there, stop there type thing. It's based on, I know a time of day that a thing is going to happen. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not saying there's a strategy here that you should use that works. It's a money management strategy. I am saying if you were to place an order at 8 a.m. every day on the DAX, it will move and hopefully it'll go far enough for you to take a profit. I'm not giving you any indication of where it's going because of a strategy. I'm giving you a way to make money out the market. I haven't got a clue which way you need to go because I don't know and it doesn't know the strategy, does it? This is the difference. People are trying to sell strategies with moving average indicators or things that are mechanical that they say will repeat themselves over and over again with a high probability. They have repeated themselves in the past with a probability of X, but that doesn't mean Y is going to happen, does it? Yeah. If I can backtest a strategy and I can curve fit a strategy and change indicator inputs to make something have a higher than 50% strike rate over a period of time in the past, but the reason it has that is because I've tweaked the settings to make that happen. I can change the settings to make it 55, or I can change the settings to make the 45 strike rate. But what's going to happen in the future? Which setting do I need on my indicator EA or something in the future to make that happen again? No idea. So everything you buy in a course is teaching you something that somebody's identified has happened in the past. It's a luck whether it happens in the future. There's nothing that can tell you what's going to happen in the future. But I know at every day, at a time of day, something happens. And that's the edge of the stock index hedge and the opening range breakout strategy. That's why I preach about this one with a stop loss or with a hedge mechanism, because we know that there's a chance of a momentum move. Same as with Canal. Canal trades at one time of day, 2:30 UK. No other time. He doesn't trade before. He doesn't trade after. He trades at 2:30 UK time because the stock market opens, and that's where it just goes bang. The edge is not the system, the strategy. The edge is knowing what the market can do and when it can do it. Position trading is knowing that the market goes up and down. I have no idea when. I have no idea the distance. I know it does. I don't know anything else. All I've identified in my time in trading is that this thing goes up and down. How can you make money out of that? Well, you certainly can't time when it's going to go up and down because that's different every single time it moves. So how can we make money out of it? Well, we can make money out of it by waiting for it to do the thing we know it will do. Historically, it's only ever done one thing, go up or down. So if we don't know when it's going to go up and down, but we know it is going to go up and down, all we've got to do is get in and wait for it to go up and down. I haven't got a system or a strategy that has a good strike rate. I've got a system or a strategy that can extract money from the marketplace as it does what it does every day. That's all I know. That's all I teach. And you know that there's no, you can pick 3 indicators. Every single one of them you can position trade with. None of them are better than the RSI. None of them are worse than the RSI. They're just different, aren't they? Use a CCI, use a MACD, use a Bollinger Band. They will all allow you to get into the market at a point, but none of them are right and none of them are wrong, are they? Because we can't time this thing because it's open 24/5 and it doesn't have a time of day where it goes pop. Some days it goes pop at 8 o'clock. Some days it goes pop at 7:30. Some days it doesn't go pop at all. That's all we know. So you can't, you know, this, hopefully this is making sense, but there isn't, you know, this is this whole point as I'm trying to say, there is no way of knowing what it's going to do. what anything's going to do. And there's no course. You can spend 100 grand on courses. You still will come out at the end of it and not having a clue what it's going to do, because none of those will work. Greg Secker sells software, doesn't he? That makes it really simple. It draws arrows on the screen. All those arrows that are drawn on the screen to say go long are based on things that work with a long-term edge. But the short term, when you start paying 10 grand or whatever it costs for whatever it is, if when you pay your money, 10 of those arrows are wrong in a row, you will stop. Because the market will go down or up. And if the arrow is up and the 10 times you start go down, you will leave a negative review and give up. If the guy next to you starts a week later and every single one of those arrows, it goes up, he will put a review that's amazing because it's absolutely fantastic for that week. What happens to that guy afterwards? You don't know, because the review's already been placed. Well, you can't trust any reviews you find either. It's common sense when you think about it. Just off the phone with Japan, they are pulling the trigger at 10:30. Thank you, Harold. So got 10 minutes, and then this will be down the bottom. Again, you know, I haven't got a bloody clue. I've drawn this on here because this is what happened last time. I've no idea if that's going to happen again. All I'm doing is I'm showing you what happened last October. And the previous intervention before that and the one before that, they're all very, very similar. But you know, isn't it? I don't know. It certainly looks like it. We've had a crack. We've had another crack. We've had a little crack this morning. We're just waiting for the big crack, aren't we? Will the big crack come? I have no idea. I hope so. Be nice, wouldn't it? Easy money, yeah. Where did I say that they teach? I don't know. My God, look at this chat. Chat's not stopping. I'm not going to stop talking all morning, am I? Their strategy is pretty secret. It's not an EA. I will join into this stream in the next few months again, and I will tell you the performance. Don't bother, Lucas. If you want to go and follow some signal service, go and follow some signal service. I really don't care. It's up to you. Do what you want. But I'm not going to be following a signal service. Why? Followed 1,000 of them, and every single one of them lost money. Yeah. If they're an investment signal and they're making sub 2 to 3% a month, you will be fine. But then again, I would say put it in the bank because they'll give you 6. Hello, Dances. Happy ranting. Good morning to you. I'm not having a rant this morning. I'm just basically going off on a waffle. Seems to be every Thursday. I reckon it's the adrenaline coming off the back of my spin class on Thursday mornings that makes me waffle. If you go back through all my live streams for the last couple of years, you'll probably find every Thursday morning is a longer than normal live stream. How much would it cost to do a 1-to-1 for 1 hour? 10 grand, because I don't do them. I just don't do them. There's no point. I'm in here. You're in here. I'm in here. Ask questions. You're getting a 1-to-1. It's just there's a load of other people in here as well. It's even better, isn't it? It's a 1-to-87 at the moment. Just got out of break even using stock index hedge on the UK 100 using aggressive hedge recovery. Good job. I'm not trading the FTSE, but if it got hedged today, then yeah. I haven't got the FTSE. I was just trying to open my Axie account, but it's not opening. I got computer problems this morning. There we go. Yeah, probably would have got hedged off of that pre-market range, I should imagine, today. So yeah, I mean, this is, you know, prime example. If you get out here and go long, you can get out there. If you get out there and go long, you can get out there. If you get out there and go long, you can get out there. It doesn't matter where you really get out. it will at some point do that, because for market to move and banks to make money, they have to do that. Because when they do that, the only way they can profit is by doing that. So if it doesn't do that, the banks don't make money. What do the banks never stop doing? That's the whole thing. You know, I've no idea when they're going to do it, but they will. And they have done this morning. Where's this going next? God, look at the spread on that thing. Can't trade that. Is it going up there, or is it going to just get stuck there and pop back down again? Yeah. No one knows. Depends on the bank. US dollar CAD. I've already done the US dollar CAD, I think, but we are pushing down at the moment. This was an H1 RSI extension this morning. It's probably not extended anymore. It is extended on the 4 hour still, but this is a short at the moment for me. It's already gone, but watch this area at ADR today for a potential bounce. If, and again, if we're going to do the same thing as we've done for the last 2 weeks, we should expect to pull back to roughly 50% of that move and carry on. If it's going to go into an accumulation and break, it'll do that. If it's going to put in an A-shaped recovery and then put in a bearish market structure or a chotch, I don't know if that is a chotch, but it'll do that. One of those things will happen. Plan every trade. It's all you can do. When I get into a trade, I think, first thing I think is, what if I'm wrong? If I'm wrong, what am I going to do? That's what you got to plan. So if you're going short on this now, because it's an H1 RSI extension, you've taken that 5-minute reversal alert there. Yeah. You're hoping it's going to go to there, maybe. First thing you should do is like, right, what am I going to do if it's wrong? If you're going to put a stop loss above there, there's a high probability you're going to get stopped out. If you don't put a stop loss above there and you're going to position trade it, where are you going to put your next entry? At ADR. Plan. Short it. Get down to there. Get out. If not, enter. Get out. If not, enter. Get out. I've no idea what it's going to do, but historically, that's what it does. So just plan for what it's done historically, and one of them will be right. Sometimes you might have to be in it 5 or 6 times before you're right, but you will be right because the market will always do the same thing. Make money. To make money, it's got to go up and down. As these guys bought the crap out of this, they were like, as soon as we sell this, guys, we're going to make a fortune. We made a fortune. Hey, guys, we've been selling the crap out of this. As soon as we buy this, we're going to make a fortune. Aha. They do all day long. That's all they do. As long as they keep doing it, we can keep doing it, can't we? Happy renting? Yeah. One-on-one doing what? Exactly. If you sat down with me on a one-on-one, all you would do is ask me the same questions that I've answered 1,000 times in this live room. And I would be saying, I don't know. I don't know. I could basically sell you a recording of me saying, I don't know. And that's basically your lesson. I don't know. When's the US intervention, the yen intervention going to happen? I don't know. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Is it going to go up or down on the DAX today? I don't know. Is that gap fill going to get filled from last week? I don't know. What do you think? Yes. Press the buy button then. Oh, it went down. Press it again. It went down. Press it again. It went up. And exit. Job done. Going to the moon, hopefully, because I'm at the bottom. What, on the US dollar CAD? Yeah. If you got on, well, it depends where your bottom is, but yeah, there's lots of bottoms, isn't there? Yeah, could well do. I suspect, though, with what's going on in Israel at the moment, well, it could go either way, but I'm expecting oil to rally and that will drive the CAD. But the US is a big oil exporter as well, so the US will also benefit from an oil move. Pulling back a little bit this morning, but not a lot. Could go either way, that one. They could all go either way, couldn't they? So. Morning, Grateful Buster. This guy calls the futures market in real time for free. I haven't seen anyone more accurate. The only reason I've mentioned this because what you say traders can't do, he does. You're talking about me. Thank you. If you're not talking about me, you're in here approaching someone else, probably. I don't know where it's going. Just playing the break and retest from the weekly weekly from January 2023. No. See, what you've just said there, Charms, right? Explain to me what the price from January 2023 has to do with now. What is the same now that was the same in January 2023? I can tell you what isn't the same. Interest rates, level of conflict, cost of living crisis, pandemic recovery levels, inflation, stock earnings reports. Nothing is the same as it was in January 2023. So why would it change based on a year ago? Same as moving averages. Why would something bounce from a 200 moving average? It's the one that everybody goes, oh, it's so reliable. What has got 200 days? What is the average price for the last 200 days got to do with today's price action based on the Japanese yen intervention and the stock market collapsing off the back of a war starting in the Middle East? Nothing. Yeah. So you can look at January 2023 if I could get there. I've got to go back a long way, haven't you, to get to January 2023? Yeah. So it's bouncing off of this. Not. Is that what you mean? But I asked the question, right? I don't know whether you're saying it's bouncing off of something or whatever, but why is it that one and not that one or 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 that one? You get the point, right? Why that one? Just because it's the highest? Possibly. But if it's invalidated that as it has there, why is it going to bounce off of that one? And then where's it going to go next? What it's probably going to do is go back up into the 2472. For every argument you have, I have an argument in the opposite direction. That's why the market goes up and down. Because if you don't want to sell it and I don't want to buy it, it flatlines. No one's right or wrong. It's going to go one way or the other. But you don't know which way it's going to go. So you can have a theory, but understanding that the theory is flawed from the start is the first step to actually getting what the hell this thing does, whatever the hell it wants. The more it pushes and the more you go, this has got to be it, the more it will go, nah, it's not. And then you'll go, that's got to be it. And it will go, nah, it's not. And it will keep going, nah, it's not, until your bank is empty. And then it will go, yeah, you were right. And you'll go, I told you. No, you didn't. You told me there. You did it there. Because we don't know. You can't time it. You can look for levels. And that level was well respected there. Look, beautiful bounce. But was it respected because of that line I've drawn on the chart? Or was it respected because it got exhausted and that's just where the sellers happened to run out of steam? Was it because a load of banks had buy orders there from January 2023? Or was it just a coincidence? I've no idea. Neither of you. No one can prove it. So therefore, we just have to go whatever. No one can prove anything. If anybody came up with something that works and they could prove why something worked, everybody would do it. Therefore, the market wouldn't move. Because if we all knew which way it was going, you wouldn't have someone wrong. If you don't have someone wrong, you can't have market movement up and down. Because if everybody was right all the time, we'd only do one thing. And it would never do anything but go like that. It can't go like that because no one can make money. The market. The only way markets move is for two people to disagree on something. I've got a load of apples. You want to buy them for £1? No. You want to buy them for 90p? No. You want to buy them for 80p? Yeah. Okay. The price of apples is 80p. Do you want to buy them for 85p? Yeah. Okay. No, it's 85p. Yeah. Market. Two people disagreeing with each other. Line has got nothing to do with it. All a line is something that's happened in the past. Hey, look, we're going to push up into that resistance. No, we didn't. We turned there. Why? I don't know. We just did. So I'll be watching that level next time. Will it turn there? I don't know. But if I'm going to go long, that's where I'm going to aim for, because that's where it went last time. And it might have orders and it might not have orders. I don't know. This is a bear market at the moment. What do bear markets have? One thing in common, a bear market always has. It finishes and becomes a bull market. When's it going to happen? Is this the very lowest point in the bear market? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's all completely random. You can come up with as many theories and strategies as you like as to what you should be doing on a day-by-day basis. But with stock indices specifically, you just go with what everyone's doing, because everybody just does the same thing all the time in the stock markets. It's momentum based. This is why you have these moves. It's because it's time based. Every single day, without fail, at the same time, this thing just goes nuts. Same time, every day, goes nuts. We have an edge. We know it's going nuts. We know it's not going to go nuts there. We know it is going to go nuts there. It's not going to go nuts there. It's going to go nuts there. It doesn't go nuts there. It goes nuts there. It doesn't go nuts there. It goes nuts. That's our edge. But we don't know which direction. So go with the direction that they're going in, because they're the ones that are doing it. They're moving it. Why they're moving it doesn't bother us, does it? We just want them to move it. SIH finished today for me in profit. Good man. Morning is met. Right, I'm going to go now because I've got to go and have a shower and stuff. It's 10:30. I'll be back this afternoon at 2:20 for the US session. Obviously, DAX has been nice this morning, so we'll see if we can get some more out this afternoon. No idea what's going to happen today. Main news we've got to worry about today is Euro this afternoon at 1:15. We've got US at 1:30, but that will probably be very dumbed down because the market will be waiting for Lagarde at 1:45 to give us the forward guidance on the euro. So really, that's where it should probably kick off about 2:15. Typically half an hour-ish she tends to go on for, but somewhere around about 2 to 2:15 is when we'll probably start to get some decent market movement coming in, and then obviously the market opens. So we'll have to watch what's happened today with the indices, because if we've had a very big volatile move, then we might not go anywhere. It doesn't look like it at the moment. All the markets are flat, so or it's just range bound at the minute. So we'll see what happens this afternoon, but so far there's no massive movements anywhere. If the yen kicks off, it kicks off. Nothing. Certainly they're buying it now. Look, they're certainly getting on board, aren't they? So that will have an impact on what happens in the stock market this afternoon, as will all of the earnings we've got today. So we've got lots of pre-market today. We've obviously got the Meta and IBM volume that's going to come through at the open today, as well as all of this lot. So it should be a busy open, hopefully, which is good because these are the days when we make the money, when it moves the most. So we'll see how we go. But anything else you need, let me know. I'll be Telegram. I'll be back this afternoon, 2:20. Same time tomorrow, 7:50 for the Frankfurt session. If you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Have a good day.